of breaking news this morning from ESPN's Adam Schefter. First, a date on the NFL schedule release, May 14th. There was speculation this could actually be pushed back into the third week of May, but pretty standard release date after all. Again, May 14th, NFL schedule release. Second, the NFL will not have to go with replacement refs this year. The NFL and NFL Referees Association have reached a 7-year collective bargaining agreement that will run through the 2032 NFL season.
Snapshot, brought to you by Miller Lite. When it's game time, it's Miller time. From the Quantum Fiber Studio,
this is Bump and Stacy
on Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app and at seattlesports.com.
Now, here are your hosts, Michael Bumpus and Stacy Ross.
Here we go now.
Well, if it isn't the Mariners back in action with a chance to build on momentum. We talked about the vibes being so much better after taking 2 of 3 against the Braves, and guess what? It's not like you're running into the toughest of competition here. You're facing the Chicago White Sox and the Houston Astros for a road trip in which Bump thinks they could go 7-0. You got 4.
I didn't say 7-0. I said 6-1. Curtis said 7-0.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
7-0.
Curtis said 7-0. You heard it here first. And Bump said 6-1. And I said they could also go at least 5-2. We're all clearly feeling very confident.
Mm-hmm.
So this is what I figured we would do. All of us agree, like our opinion this morning, is that the Mariners have an opportunity in front of them. And not only do they have an opportunity, but they simply need to seize it because guess what? It's mid-May. It's early, but it's not so early that you start ignoring your fears about teams. You need to seize this opportunity. It is very important to do so. So let's talk about maybe 2 bad numbers about these teams that stand out to us. 2 bad numbers where you're like, look, this is why there's a massive opportunity here. This is why the Mariners should win this one. However, it's baseball. Everyone's a professional. We're also picking one thing about each of these teams that could be a little ominous.
What is going on here?
Does that make sense?
It does make sense. Why isn't this on the show sheet? I got to prepare for this.
Oh, did you write, like, here's how they build that momentum?
Yeah. He said, I need a number from April. I need a number from May.
No,
it has to be from a matinee game.
That's not
Setting your
what
boy
it is.
up for failure.
That's not what it is. Okay, so how do they build on their momentum then? I'll say that. How do they build on their momentum?
Oh, man. Goodness gracious. Stacy coming in hot. You know what? Cole Young can't be your best bet. All right, let's say that.
Okay.
Cal Raleigh, Julio, or Naylor has to be your best bet, and those 3 have to be at the top of all the major categories when it comes to stats. That's how you got to do it. You got what Cole is batting with 276 right now, and he seems like the most consistent. He is the most consistent. So I love that. I love that for Cole. That's what's up. But you need Julio. You need Julio to be Julio, Cal, Naylor to be your best bets.
Does it sound dumb to say pitching should continue to look great? But, like, yeah, that's how you do it. You haven't seen enough from their offense just yet to feel fully confident that they're just going to rake against 2 bad teams, especially Houston, whose pitching has been awful, whose bullpen has been awful. What are they, like the worst or second worst bullpen ERA in baseball? But you haven't seen enough from the offense yet to be like, oh, of course they're going to take advantage of it. Yeah. So in the meantime, I think key to building that momentum is that you also withstand some of that offense because Yordan Alvarez hits bombs.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Sure
like
does.
This year's Chicago White Sox are the second worst batting average in baseball, but they've also knocked in some home runs. They're still top 10 too. So yeah, just your pitching continuing to be as stellar as it can despite some injuries in your bullpen.
That's kind of scary. That they're not that good when it comes to average, but they will hit bombs because as of late, we've seen our pitchers give up the long ball. So, that's what makes the White Sox kind of scary to me because you expect to win this series, all right, or maybe win both series, go 7-0, but focus it on the White Sox. You expect to win, but they have shown that they got some pop.
Yeah.
So, and honestly, man, they have one of my favorite players to watch over there right now. I'm going to mess his name up. Muntaka Murakami.
Yes, yeah.
Yes. So I'm excited to see him play. I hope he doesn't hit bombs against us. But, yeah, they're a bad but dangerous team.
He and Yordan are kind of like carrying the load when it comes to that home run total. Both I don't know if they're 1-2 right now, but them and Judge were the first 3 to get like over 10, now over 12. So it just keeps going. But yeah, I mean, the Seattle Mariners, I have overall a better team, a more balanced team, a better lineup. But of the 3, they have the least amount of home runs. Now, Seattle still has 42 home runs. That's more than a chunk of the league. But yeah, you've got 2 really, really tough bats there. Again, though, it's just, this is an opportunity. This is a real opportunity. I recognize the irony in saying that when Seattle on their last homestand was swept by a bad team and then won a series against a great team. I totally get someone being like, well, they just lost a series to a pretty bad team. But I don't care. You're better than these 2 on paper, and frankly, your pitching has certainly played like it.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's okay to expect these guys to win this series, right? But we also understand that, this is sports, and things could happen, and teams get hot, and teams go on runs. But I'm going into this White Sox series, and I'm feeling good. And I think they should feel good as well, because you just beat the Braves, right? You did something no team has been able to do this season so far, which is win a series against them.
Mm-hmm.
So ride the wave, man. Feel the vibes, and let's go on a nice little road trip.
Something else happening here. Brendan Donovan returns. Here's what Jason Churchill had to say with Wyman and Bob about his impact.
Yeah, if he stays in the lineup and stays on the field at third base, he'll be absolutely fine at third base. I'm a big, believer in one guy in the lineup can have a larger effect than just that one guy over the player that was playing instead of him. So this isn't just Brendan Donovan replacing Leo Rivas in the lineup. It's you're lengthening the lineup now. You're asking players to be themselves a little more. And the effect of that one hitter, we talked about this last July, you get that one hitter in the lineup that you didn't have, it's going to have a bigger impact than just adding one guy who's more productive. And that happens more at the top of the lineup than it even does in the middle of the lineup sometimes.
There were some up and down moments when it came to Brendan Donovan defensively at third base, but he was, and this was apparent early, a great bat in this lineup, a great addition to kind of keep things rolling. And I don't expect, maybe it starts a little slow coming back from injury. He's looked good in rehab. I don't expect that to just suddenly cool off.
No, it's good to get that kind of bat back too as well. A guy who's going to put the ball in play and kind of connect things and keep things rolling. Defensively, he's going to get better at third base, I believe. Just with the reps that he's going to get, he'll get better. Yeah, you're getting healthy. You got Bryce, who could be back soon. You got Donovan as well. So as long as you can continue to take these mini strides, right, and it started with Atlanta this past week, they should be okay. And I think that this series against the White Sox in Houston is coming at the right time, right, because you've had your lows, you beat a good team, and now you're expected to win this series. I will be disappointed if they don't come back to the house with a winning record on this road trip.
Me too. Curtis, you for extra innings yesterday learned a lot about the White Sox. Anything stand out about maybe a real opportunity and potentially a challenge for this series?
Well, their bullpen not so hot, but a challenge is going to be Sunday's starting pitcher, Davis Martin. A couple of very popular last names formed into one person, Davis Martin.
You laughed so hard at that.
You don't get it, Stacey. You just don't get it.
Right. He's actually been phenomenal this year. ERA under 2. He's 5-1. So that's going to be a challenge for the Mariners. And then also offensively, the White Sox have a rookie, Munetaka Murakami from Japan. He's their first baseman, 14 home runs on the season already. So he's got ridiculous power. That's a bat you want to definitely take note of in that White Sox lineup. He only has one other extra base hit this year besides the 14 home runs, but when he makes contact, it goes a long way.
Given the pitching struggles, particularly the bullpen struggles from both of these teams, Bump, is there someone on Seattle's offense that's been struggling that you think, you know what, this is someone I'm watching closely because I think there's a real opportunity for him?
I mean, it's the big dog.
Yeah.
It's California Raleigh.
It's cauliflower.
Cauliflower. We need to see it again. We saw it a little bit, right? Saw a little spurt. Saw him get hot for a bit, but then obviously injuries change the way you move, change the way you feel, the way you think. So yeah, it's the obvious one. It's the big dog.
Yeah, I think that's going to be the answer for me as well. I actually had started to feel really encouraged by what we were seeing from the 3 of them. We started the year talking about, Naylor, Julio, Cal. understandably, 3 massively important bats. And they all were struggling in different ways and had different levels of concern about those struggles. And all 3 had started to improve and had started to take steps forward. I agree with you, though. With Cal, with Julio, it's easier to dismiss because he's just started cold before and then gets unbelievably hot. So you're like, all right. And with Naylor, it's been coming along, and also like he just has such good body language with stuff. It's like I don't know that that's affecting him. With Cal, it's tough to start to improve, to already have a slow start to the season, and then to get hurt, like to get into a rut and then get hurt and then have to come back and try to play when you're. Ryan Roland-Smith mentioned it yesterday, when you're also trying to be careful because suddenly everyone's paying attention to, you know, you got a bajillion doctors doing imaging, trying to figure out if you're, you know, okay enough to play. So that's in the back of your mind. Yeah, it's just, I would imagine there's some mental hurdles for him. Although I think it could help to get back behind the dish Friday.
Yeah, sometimes you just got to get back to your happy place, man. And obviously that's behind the plate for him. He wants to play every single game. Last year only missed a few games. So, yeah, but you do what the doctors tell you to do. I'm sure he's rehabbing the heck out of that thing, making sure that his body is prepared to go. So I can't wait for the turn to happen for the big dog.
And let's talk about what a turn in the American League means. We asked Jordan Schusterman yesterday about the Mariners' place in the AL.
Can't say it's April anymore. So we're over 20% through the season, and as I continue to bring up every time I get here, and then until it's not true, I will continue to repeat it. No one else in the American League besides the Yankees is jumping up and taking it. So as long as that's true, they're going to have a window to climb the standings quickly. But, yeah, I mean, they got to heat up. They got to heat up, and that hasn't happened quite yet.
Ultimately, that's kind of the point that we're making with this entire start to the show. It's not April anymore. You can't say it's too early, nothing they do matters. But also, there's a massive opportunity in a pretty mediocre AL right now.
That's what's key. If, you know, the Astros were the team of the past and they're coming out hot, or even the Rangers last year at some point, I'd be a bit more concerned at this point of the season, even though it's not early, it's not late. But because the neighborhood is tripping right now, you're in a good spot. So this is an opportunity, man. You got, like I said, 2 series that we think that they should win. You're behind the A's, a game and a half or something like that. Maybe 2 games. Game and a half. Behind the A's, a game and a half. Take advantage of the opportunity. This is when you become a good team, is when you can take advantage of the situation. Take advantage of your schedule. Take advantage of the division, because it ain't looking too hot in the AL West.
I'm fully convinced. Like, if Houston, for some reason, had the number 1 spot in the AL West, I'd be like, okay, they got to hang on to it, though, and they've got some real pitching concerns and a pretty key injury there. If Seattle took a hold of the AL West, could they lose it? Certainly. Could they dip back below 500? Certainly. They are and have been a pretty inconsistent team. But of the teams in the AL West, Seattle is the likeliest to if they get into first run away with it. So why not try to do it right now?
I can't believe you tried to set me up to start this show.
We talked about this.
No, we didn't.
Yes, we did.
You might have been talking to Curtis. You weren't talking to me. You said, we're getting my number. Give me a number.
Because remember,
that concerns you.
Because I thought it would be funny to do, you know how we were laughing about the however, be that as it may.
Yesterday. Why isn't it on the show sheet?
Well, I guess I just thought that we already.
You know how my brain works.
I know.
I need to see it on the show sheet.
I didn't think about the CTE.
You know what I'm saying?
I didn't think about the CTE.
She was like, he's going to remember a conversation from 20 hours ago.
No, I know. That's exactly what happened. Is we had a conversation, but then I forgot about the CTE. And I did not make it clear. I did put you on the spot.
Supposed to be the point guard, man.
It was unintentional. What I did
Stacey's a shot chucker point guard. Let's be real.
I was like,
she's like D Wade.
I said heads up, and then and the ball just hit you, and you're right. I did not. Right. I was not a good Scotty in that moment.
It's all good. Just give me a number.
Are you mad at me?
From May 2nd, 12 p.m.
I didn't say.
That only I know. What is going on, man?
We're still connected, though. We're still connected and ready for the show.
Yeah, we're ready.
Yeah.
We stay ready.
Okay, I'm thinking of a number 1 through 10.
7.
No.
5.
No.
1.
No.
10.
No. Oh, the show's going to be so awful today. We can get back into this. Let's get to headline rewrites.
Extra, extra, rewrite! Headline rewrite.
must make headlines.
The real story behind the headlines in today's news.
Powered by Bay Alarm Security Services.
With Bump and Stacy.
Well, that new. I hate you.
Headline number one, ESPN Seth Wickersham writes, the Seahawks sale is drawing softer than expected interest, but should still eclipse a $9 billion price tag. What's the real headline?
Did we eat too many rich people? I fear that Eat the Rich went too far, and there are no billionaires left. I saw a lot of comments on this post, Bump, of people who did not read the article about why it was a soft market. That being said, were you surprised that there aren't more buyers?
No, I'm not surprised. I'm not even concerned. Just get the right one. Doesn't have to be a bunch of people who want to purchase this team. You would think after winning a Super Bowl, though, that people will want a piece of this. But it's all good. You just make sure you get someone who's going to support John and Mike the way they should be, upgrade some facilities, attract free agents. I'm not too concerned if there ain't a bunch of bidders out there.
Yeah, I think that this is kind of like, when people are like, oh, the wide receiver market's going to eventually hit a ceiling where it's just going to burst, or quarterback market is going to hit a ceiling where it's going to burst. Seth is kind of implying a little bit, too, is like this NFL valuation can only get so high before you're going to run out of buyers. They can put like 30% down on a 9 to 10 to $11 billion valuation of a team. And it's just, it's going to be hard to find that many people that can outright get a team.
30% down? Man, I'm looking at the housing market, and you're putting down 20 on a house is a bunch.
That's at least like, for a $9 billion price tag, that's like $2.7 million, something like that.
I can't do that math. That's
nuts.
That's none of my business. Jesse and Olympia said, because, I talked to you, but it was yesternight.
Yesternight. Yeah.
That's annoying. I honestly think it should be a word.
I get it.
It should be.
I get it.
Yeah. What's next?
Headline rewrites.
Headline number two. Earlier today, the Huskies announced that they will play back-to-back Friday night games on October 9th at home against Iowa, and then the following week, October 16th at Purdue. What's the real headline?
How is this TV deal any better than what they had in the Pac-12? Why did we jump and leave our friends to sink?
I thought the Huskies were going to be on like prime time every week.
I thought that was the plan, you guys. Huskies, please meet me in the corner. What are we doing?
Grow the brand. Let's play on Friday against Iowa and Purdue.
Yeah, that's the thing too, is that these two opponents aren't necessarily like big draws.
No. If you had like an Oregon game on a Friday or something like that, but Iowa and Purdue, nah. I wish it was Iowa State. Well, Iowa State's in the Big 12?
Yeah, they are.
All right.
Me and my fellow Big 12 brethren. Go Big 12, as I always say.
Arizona, Big 12 heads.
Staple.
It says staple. No, this is... Does anyone feel exceptional about their college football team?
No.
Like who?
Or just like their situation in their conference?
Does anyone listening feel great? Maybe if we were located in the Southeast or the Midwest or something, someone would be like, yeah, OH. Like, they feel great about it. But, like, I don't know a single person that feels great.
Well,
I like the product. Players are better than ever, but...
I feel good about Wazoo because we're in a conference that makes sense now. Like, Boise State, San Diego State, Texas State is like, all right, yeah, we can actually throw some hands now. You know what I mean? So, other than that, nah.
Yeah.
Headline rewrites.
Headline number three. ESPN's Adam Schefter reports the NFL schedule will be released on Thursday, May 14th. What's the real headline?
We're calling this the schedule release about the schedule release. The NFL's got to tease it out.
NFL makes everything a big deal.
Yeah.
And good for them. The draft is a big deal. Schedule release is a big deal. Like, even the way they release it, like 1 week at a time. Boom. It's all dramatic. NFL knows what they're doing. So, I'm looking forward to May the 14th. That's the only schedule release I'm ever excited about is NFL.
Do we think
so many games,
this now means that Aaron Rodgers will definitively be back in Pittsburgh? Because I think that was one of the big holdups for the schedule release is that they didn't know
which is crazy.
Where to put Steelers games, some of them in primetime, some of them not.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you think that any team will be willing they'll have the Patriots on their schedule to take a shot at Vrabel Rossini?
Oh, yeah. The Chargers routinely have the messiest schedule release videos, and I love it.
You think so?
Man,
There's gonna be someone with the Patriots on a boat. That's gonna be what it is. I bet you anything.
Oh,
or on
man.
The Inside the NBA guys did Vrabel and Rossini.
Before the
Before
boat
the
story
boat
was
video
out,
came
what did
out,
they
yeah.
know? What did they know? Do you guys think more will come out?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think there are receipts everywhere with this thing, man. And there are more people who are involved. Like, there's someone on Vrabel's side who he confided in. Same with on the other side. People are going to get dragged into this.
Yeah.
Let's keep the kids out of it, all right?
What are you most curious about when it comes to the Seahawks schedule? Or what do you tend
Am
to be
I going
most
to
curious
London or Mexico? All right, let me know. Start packing my bags now. I don't want to go overseas so bad. I had so much fun in Germany a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
The fans traveled. The German people know the game. It was weird having them really understand what's going on. So I want to see what's like in London town.
Curtis, what about you? Things that you typically look for first when the schedule's released?
I always look for the primetime games that the Seahawks are in. I imagine since they're defending Super Bowl champs, they're going to get the full allotment. So I think that's like 5 or 6 primetime games.
Yeah.
I also look for the holidays. Could they be on Thanksgiving? I think the NFL will have a Christmas slate again this year. So that's where I look.
Which is possible because the Chiefs are now a regular Christmas
Yeah, and
team.
the Seahawks play the Chiefs this year. But I think the Chiefs like to be home on Christmas Day.
And so not a Christmas game against the Chiefs. We can rule that out. I look for the tough part. Like, where's the easy part? Where's the tough part? You know, where do you see it? And it's like maybe you've got Rams, Chiefs, Rams. Like over a stretch of 3 weeks late in the season when you know Patrick Mahomes will be there for the Chiefs. Like that's kind of I look for the tests. Where are we going to learn quite a bit about this team? No matter how confident you feel about them, but like where's the lesson?
You know what's funny about the hard part of the 2025 schedule? It was like the final month of the season where it was like Vikings, Falcons, Colts, Rams, Panthers, 49ers. We're all like, man, you know, if they can go through here with, you know, maybe 1 or 2 losses, it's going to be great, man. They ran through that portion of the schedule.
It is funny in hindsight to think that after that game in LA when they lost to the Rams and we were just kind of like, oh man, maybe the Rams are the better team. The Seahawks didn't lose another game, obviously through the Super Bowl, but that was it. November 16th was the last loss they had in 2025.
On a run.
And
Great run.
Run
just,
the table.
Imagine someone telling you on that day when Sam Darnold has thrown how many interceptions? 4? 3? 4 interceptions. They're like, hey, listen, I know you feel down bad about this team right now, but they're not going to lose again.
Don't worry about it.
This is as bad as it'll get.
This is truly the last time they will lose. You're listening to Bump and Stacy on Seattle Sports and the Seattle Sports app. Coming up at 10:45, we're going to talk about Bryce Miller returning. What happens now with Luis Castillo? Coming up next, though, a clip about the Seahawks that will make you angry.
After the biggest series win so far this season.
You just beat the Braves, who had been the best team in baseball, and beat them 2 out of 3.
That shows a little resilience.
How about that, folks? The Mariners hit the road, looking to build momentum.
This is an opportunity road trip for the Mariners.
And create some distance atop the AL West.
You're not far from sitting in first place, because the rest of the teams, nobody's running away with it.
Mariners, White Sox, tonight. First pitch at 4:40. Pre-game at 3:30. Every pitch, every game, one app for free. The Seattle Sports app.
70 and sunny this week, so get out on the water with ARC, the 100% electric boat. They're doing demos on Lake Union, Lake Washington, and Lake Sammamish. Book one and see what they're all about. I got to ride in the brand new ARC Sport, and it was unlike anything I've experienced. Think of a luxury EV on water, quiet, powerful, easy to operate, heated seats and seat backs, a large touchscreen display. Schedule your demo at arcboats.com/demo. If you can't make it to Kirkland, they'll pick you up. arcboats.com/demo.
A rising blast, left field, grand slam, Rosarena!
At T-Mobile Park, you've always got the best seat in the house. But for a truly elevated experience, you've got to be in a Mariner Suite. A suite is the perfect spot to get your game and celebration on. Birthday, promotion, engagement, company team building that actually team builds. No matter your event, we've got a suite you'll love. Group suites can fit 30 to 400 people for big-time bashes. And private suites offer just that, an upscale experience for more intimate gatherings. All Mariner Suites offer an incredible view of the ballpark, so you can't go wrong. Plus, you and your guests will enjoy premium catering, VIP parking, private Skybridge entry, and more. And season ticket members get 15% off. Reserve your suite today at mariners.com/suites.
Bases clearing, 3-run double by Josh Naylor. Holy smokes, the Mariners have the lead.
Mariners baseball, Trident's up.
Your old furnace ain't nice, and your toes are like ice.
DayandNight.net.
This month, Day and Night gives you a free furnace with the installation of an AC or heat pump.
If you're not sure your furnace will make it through another winter, call us to install a proper, long-lasting, efficient heating system backed by our lifetime workmanship guarantee, so you won't be left out in the cold.
Install an AC or heat pump and get a free furnace from Day and Night Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electric.
DayandNight.net.
If you've gained 20, 30, or even 40 or more pounds over the past few years and nothing seems to work anymore, listen up. I'm Dr. Coogan with Eastside Weight Loss, and our completely medication-free program has helped thousands in Washington lose 20 to 30 pounds in just 60 days. No drugs, no weekly shots, no muscle loss, no side effects, no forever monthly costs, just food, but the right type, in the right amount at the right time. All part of a detailed plan with expert coaching every step of the way that helps you reset your metabolism and burn fat. Schedule your free phone consult at eastsideweightlossklinik.com.
Yeah, Mike Salk here, and Dr. Coogan is right. I can attest to losing 35 pounds with Eastside Weight Loss Clinic. It works. It's safer, less expensive than alternatives, with no injections or pills, and no scary side effects. Schedule a free consult and find out for yourself.
Over 4,000 people have lost 20 to 30 pounds or more in just 60 days. Come to our clinic in Kirkland or do our program from anywhere you live with our remote options. Schedule your free phone consult online at eastsideweightlossklinik.com.
Dr. Ryan Coogan, D.C. Results may vary.
Shopping for a new Mazda? Shop the West Coast's largest Mazda dealer, Mazda of Everett, with more new Mazdas in stock than any dealer in the region. Shop over 780 new Mazdas. Click on the Mazda of Everett price. At Mazda of Everett, exceptional customer satisfaction is the standard. Plus, at Mazda of Everett, you negotiate directly with the owner. Locally owned, trusted by thousands. Shop MazdaofEverett.com and see why we're number one.
Heading outdoors or on the water this weekend? Check in with Joey and Nelly on the Outdoor Line from 6 to 8 a.m. every Saturday on Seattle Sports and the Seattle Sports app.
Here's a tale of Becky. Didn't know what to do with new meds prescribed and no real cost clue.
She squinted at prices, that can't be right. Then tapped GoodRx and saw the light.
She could get a deal. Book telehealth if she feels.
Learn about those meds without any stress. That one little app does all the rest. Even my horse downloaded it. Dang, save time and money on prescriptions.
Check GoodRx. GoodRx is not insurance.
Check engine or ABS light on? Take the guesswork out of your warning lights with O'Reilly Veriscan. It's free. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Support comes from Amazon Business. Free your team from time-consuming procurement tasks. Discover smart business buying where unmatched selection meets AI-driven tools to simplify complex processes so you can focus on what matters most. Learn more at amazonbusiness.com.
And we're back. The big headline today. Your Washington Credit Union, WSECU, has done it again.
5 straight years as Forbes' best in-state credit union. That's a dynasty, Rick, like 5 straight championship rings.
Or 5 seasons hitting 400, Steve.
Holy catfish. If you want a team that wins year after year, join your Washington Credit Union, WSECU. Details at WSECU.org.
Windows are our home's top target for break-ins. At Lake Washington Windows and Doors, we offer added security with our exclusive 3-layer security glass protection. Combined with our lifetime warranty, you'll have lifetime peace of mind. Choose Lake Washington Windows and Doors, a name you can trust.
This Memorial Day, feel the freedom of lower energy bills. Lake Washington Windows and Doors is taking $525 off every window, plus $1,000 off every patio or entry door. Plus, enjoy 12 months free financing. LakeWashingtonWindows.com.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Bumpin' Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
I'm springing another question on you without warning, but it's because I just thought of it in the last 10 seconds.
Questions are fine. Just when you ask for stats, you know what I mean?
Okay.
Boy, gotta prep.
Knowing what our segment is going to be about, don't say that as your answer. What's something that just makes you kind of irrationally angry sometimes? Sports, non-sports.
when my belt loop gets caught into something.
Ah!
I hate that.
Oh, that does make me angry. You start walking and then like the door or like what it is a drawer of something. So you keep walking and the silverware drawer opens and then you're like, yeah, that's definitely a good one. I am starting to add, even though there's no reason to be irrationally angry, but hence being irrationally angry. I'm starting to add takes that the Rams are like clearly better than the Seahawks to my list of things that are making me like, all of a sudden I can rant about it for 20 minutes. How'd I get here? You know what I mean?
I've heard it.
Yeah. But like last season, if you go listen to like week 5 of the Bump Stacy Show during the Seahawks season, you'll find me going, I still think the Rams are the best team. Like this is new. This was not something I felt, last fall, but it's just something that now is kind of driving me crazy. This was a CBS Sports panel talking about who's winning the NFC West.
Are either one of you guys going to take the reigning Super Bowl champions to win their own division next year?
I feel like you know the answer. That's a definite no. I mean, look, the Seahawks win the division. I get that. But they won it kind of on a technicality, right? That if you think of that extra point, I think it was, a 2-point conversion, I think it was. That's where the Seahawks win the division. The Rams have had the best offseason, in my opinion. And I know where everyone is going to go. Ty Simpson, how does that help them this year? But it doesn't matter because at the end of the day, picking Reuben Bain in that spot, yes. Would it have helped him? Sure. Picking Mekhi Lemon to be your wide receiver 3, yes, that would have helped him. But Trent McDuffie, Jalen Watson, that defense is loaded. Matthew Stafford on his last hurrah. That front office knows what to do and when to do it, and I trust the Rams. I think the Rams are the best team in the NFL right now. I think Vegas says that with Super Bowl odds. I get the Seahawks. They don't need much, but I'm not going to pick the Seahawks. I'm going to go with the Rams. I just think they are too good and have retooled too well.
Won it on a technicality?
Get them.
It was 30-14. You had a 30-14 lead.
That is just technicality.
You were not up by 2 and then a 2-point conversion tied it. You were up 30-14. Then you allowed the Seahawks to claw their way back into the game by virtue of your defense playing like trash and taking their foot off the gas. Oh, also, you invest the least amount of your salary cap into special teams while the Seahawks invest the most. Oh, feels like a decision there. Feels like some good planning. Feels like some good roster management when it comes to your investments, and it cost you. With 6 minutes remaining, this technicality happened. 6 minutes remaining in the game. It's 30-30. 6 minutes left. Rams drive down the field, and they have a chance with 2 minutes left to kick a field goal and take a 33-30 lead. You missed it. Everyone's ignoring that. Everyone's ignoring that they gave up a 16-point lead and missed a field goal with a chance to pull ahead in the final 2 minutes. Oh, just one more thing before I forget. Your defense also could have stopped Sam Darnold in the offense in overtime and didn't.
Speak on it.
They could have stopped a 2-point play. The Seahawks won by virtue of a 2-point play. Do you see what? This is my belt loop getting caught in the door moment, because the idea that the Seahawks lucked into beating the Rams is crazy revisionist history.
Get off your chest.
No.
Hey, you already knew this was coming. You already knew this was coming. Let her cook. Let her go. Let her go.
It does. It's just the confidence with which it's said. The pretentiousness of like, well, I won it on a technicality. You guys know how football is.
Yeah, that's it stands out because it was an unusual play.
Yeah, it was weird.
Right, everyone thought the play was dead. Charbonnet does what he's coached to do. You pick up the football. They're lining up for kickoff, and refs are like, hold up. And I think that's the part that stings the most for Rams people is that it didn't count officially, and then it said timeout.
No, it was weird. It was
let's look at this. Someone called from upstairs and said, we got to look at this.
Totally get
That's
it.
why it hurts even more. I think that if it happened in the moment and the referees just went over there and did it initially, it would still feel kind of bogus to them, but it hurts a bit more. Here's one thing. I'm not mad at people thinking the Rams are better than the Seahawks.
I'm not mad at that.
Look, if you think that, so be it. I think that they're clearly two of the best teams in the game.
Yes.
So you can think that it's going to be settled on the football field, but you can't act like the Seahawks did not earn this championship.
Yes.
I mean, they went and got you in the conference championship too. You could have got payback then, but they got you in the conference championship. So, yeah, Rams fans, I hear you. I hear you. I don't agree with you, but I think that your frustration is warranted.
That's the crazy thing. You're exactly right. The frustration's warranted. When it happened in real time, I was like, bummer.
Yeah.
Dead play, batted down, end of play. I get it. It's weird. I'd be livid if the reverse was true for the Seahawks. I also would be mad if the reverse was true at my Seahawks for not kicking what could have been a game-winning field goal. I would be upset at my Seahawks for not keeping Matthew Stafford and the Rams from marching down the field and converting a 2-point conversion to win. I'd be upset at my Seahawks for, losing to the Falcons a week later. I'd be upset at my Seahawks for giving up 27-plus points in 4 of their last 6 games. But the Seahawks didn't do that. They dominated.
No.
They steamrolled through the league.
So,
they got a 2-point conversion on you. They also played better than you.
Yeah,
and also there was a third game. Just Bump mentioned it, but very key to note. The Rams still had a chance to go to the Super Bowl, and they lost.
Yeah, and Jason dropped 153 on you that game in the conference championship too.
So it sounds like you need Trent McDuffie.
And that's the thing too, is there's never one play that determines a football game. It's a bunch of events. Paul Murray does it the best. He always breaks down. He goes, look, there's about 5 plays each game that you feel like had the biggest impact on the outcome of the game. And I could agree with him. Also, big ups to Paul, because we were talking about how the Hawks went on a run. He said after that loss that they were not going to lose again. And Paul,
shout out Paul for
Paul's
that.
big at throwing stuff out there. Don't always stick, but he will throw it out there. And that one, he was absolutely right. So big ups to my guy, Paul Moyer. But yeah, man, when I see and hear the Rams fans crying and stuff, I just sit back and smile. I'm just like, you know what? We got the ring. Do better. Pick up the ball.
Yeah.
Make the field goal.
Right.
Stop the offense. Go on a drive. There are other things which you pointed out that this team could have done to win that football game. They are still a very good football team. They did get better this offseason with the additions to that secondary. Ty Simpson pick has me scratching my head, but though I realize they're planning for the future because Matthew Stafford's going to be out of here pretty soon. It's just, look, square up. I'll see you in the fall, and we can do this again.
No, see, the part that you're missing is it's not fair.
What's not fair?
It's not fair.
It's not fair.
It's just not fair. They weren't done. Here's Danny Cannell, also on the CBS Sports panel.
So I hate this because we agree. I think one of the hardest things to do is repeat as a Super Bowl champion, right? I think it's hard to just repeat and replicate some of the success you had. You lose key pieces. Guys are looking to get paid. They've lost several key pieces. You're complacent when you go out there every time. Mm-hmm. And then on the flip side, what I love is the Rams' sense of urgency. And you mentioned Matthew Stafford, the window closing. I mean, even though he had this incredible MVP season last year, I still think the team, they want to send him off with the ultimate, which is a Vince Lombardi trophy.
Rams' sense of urgency is funny considering that they drafted for a future need in the first round. I digress. I'm not going to get into that debate. Do you think, Bump, that it is fair to take a different approach and say, getting back to and winning a Super Bowl is hard?
It is. 3
franchises have even gotten back there in the next year since 2000.
No, it's tough. It's tough, but why not us? Why not this team? Why not McDonald and Schneider? If you follow this team closely, which I think most of you guys do, you feel that there's something special about this organization right now. It's not gas. This is real stuff. So, why not make it 4? 4 teams to do it now.
What do you think about the take from both of these panelists that the Rams have just done more in the offseason and have therefore pulled ahead of Seattle?
I think they've made bigger splashes, but I think that the Hawks have done what's conducive for them, right? Yeah, you could have gone out and got a bigger name, made some trades or whatnot, but I don't think that they needed to have a whole remodel. You just needed to tweak some things. So, no, I think the Rams had a busier offseason, right? And what even makes it more busy is the crazy pick of Ty Simpson, right? That's a splash in itself, right? I think the Hawks just moving like lasagna and doing their thing.
And because the G is silent.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say I almost said the lasagna thing again, but I'm not going to do it. I'm not. It's irrelevant to this conversation. But I want you to know that I thought my lasagna take again.
What was your lasagna take?
There's no good lasagna.
Oh, that's garbage.
We already
You're talking
talked
to somebody who has lasagna in their top 5 foods ever.
That's why I said it. I said, well, I didn't say no good lasagna. I said 70% of lasagna is dry.
I said because you don't do it from scratch. You go get the one you bake in the oven that's already made for you. Those are garbage.
They are garbage because the entire perimeter is waste.
And then I went and had lasagna that day and sent you a picture of it.
It did look really good.
See?
And then I said, I take it back. I said, I take it back.
Go
and
to
I said, that's
Athens
the 20%
Pizza
that's not dry.
in Auburn. They've got a tremendous lasagna.
You should write that email.
Yeah.
Athens Pizza.
I'm giving him a free plug here.
We have 4 football questions for Michael Bumpus coming up in about 45 minutes. First, though, we're going back-to-back Mariners here. Coming up at 11, Seattle Times' Adam Jude joining us from Chicago, previewing this series against the White Sox. And before we get to that, the Mariners have a very interesting problem on their hands.
After the biggest series win so far this season.
You just beat the Braves, who had been the best team in baseball, and beat them 2 out of 3.
That shows a little resilience.
How about that, folks?
The Mariners hit the road, looking to build momentum.
This is an opportunity road trip for the Mariners.
And create some distance atop the AL West.
You're not far from sitting in first place, because the rest of the teams, nobody's running away with it.
Mariners, White Sox, tonight. First pitch at 4:40. Pre-game at 3:30. Every pitch, every game, one app for free. The Seattle Sports app.
Stacy here. Sell your car to Wayscar Ford, and when they resell it, they share half their profit with you. That's right. Sell your car to Wayscar Ford, Isuzu, and Auburn. They'll pay you today for your car, and once they resell it, they'll share half their profit with you. WayscarFord.com.
For over 50 years, Bucky's Complete Auto Repair has been the one locals trust for honest pricing, expert service, and guaranteed repairs. This dedication has earned them a Carfax Preferred designation. At Bucky's, every customer gets detailed Carfax updates, timely service reminders, and a full service history, all at your fingertips. With 16 family-owned locations, no appointment needed, and easy financing, Bucky's makes auto care simple. Visit Bucky's.com today and drive with confidence. Bucky's.com.
Listen every morning to Brock and Salk for Need to Know, powered by Marquee Data. Marquee IQ brings all your data together into one clear view. Stop running your business on highlights. Get the full picture. Visit datathatwins.com to learn more.
People can see through if it's not genuine. And it's genuine here. The Johnsons always talk about in orientation meeting. Their dad and grandpa, they always maintain that it's a people business. We're not here to sell cars and work on cars. That's what we do, but it's really about just helping people. Every month we have a new employee orientation meeting, and the Johnsons present. They can't get out to all the stores every day and meet everyone, but at least they get to shake hands with new employees every month in the orientation meeting. And they tell everyone there's not one car deal or one repair order that is worth tarnishing our reputation and ruining an experience for a customer. That just is really what is instilled.
Lee Johnson Auto Family, the LJ way.
Free consultations, no fee guarantees, 5-star reviews. J.P. Pendergast with Pendergast Law explains the importance of going beyond these familiar offerings.
Accident victims want an attorney, Tom, that satisfies their needs. Someone who handles those needs with the highest degree of care. Pendergast Law offers the no-fee guarantees and free consultations, but these only scratch the surface.
Okay, explain more.
We make sure that every member of our team is genuinely passionate about helping others. Customer service and communication are our top priority. It's how we take care of our clients so they always feel one step ahead of the insurance companies. Our strong reputation for high standards provides comfort and confidence when it's needed most.
Pendergast Law offers the free consultations, the no-fee guarantees, and, of course, they are 5-star rated. But what really makes them different is their genuine passion for helping others. I can't recommend them enough.
If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
That's PendergastLaw.com.
Hey there, Dawn Riling from Olympic Hot Tub. Time to celebrate spring and warmer days ahead. Get ready by adding a hot tub, swim spa, or sauna at home to take better care of you and your family. For nearly 50 years, Olympic has been offering products to help people live better. During our Soak, Sauna, and Swim event, find your perfect wellness solution and save thousands through May 10th. OlympicHotTub.com. Better you, better life.
Olympic Hot Tub.
Mariners and White Sox this afternoon in Chicago. First pitch at 4:40, pregame at 3:30. Listen live for free on the Seattle Sports app.
Spring is the perfect time to make improvements that protect and add value to your home.
Hi, Justin Shirley, CEO of State Roofing and Exteriors. For decades, homeowners across the Pacific Northwest have trusted our team for roofing, siding, windows, and custom decking. This spring, save up to $3,000, or qualified homeowners can take advantage of 0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest up to 24 months. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com today to schedule your free estimate.
Shopping for a new Mazda? Shop the West Coast's largest Mazda dealer, Mazda of Everett. With more new Mazdas in stock than any dealer in the region. Shop over 780 new Mazdas. Click on the Mazda of Everett price. At Mazda of Everett, exceptional customer satisfaction is the standard. Plus, at Mazda of Everett, you negotiate directly with the owner. Locally owned, trusted by thousands. Shop MazdaofEverett.com and see why we're #1.
Hi, Chef John Howie here. At Sea Star Restaurant and Raw Bar in Bellevue, we've been serving the East Side for more than 24 years. We love serving our guests and creating wonderful memories. We also love serving the community, from local schools to amazing organizations like Hope Link, the American Cancer Society, Bellevue LifeSpring, and so many more. I want to thank you, our guests, for supporting Sea Star all these years, making it possible for us to serve and help those in need. Thank you. SeastarRestaurant.com.
Eric Johnson here. I covered a lot of accidents over the past 30 years or so, but I never got to say much about what to do after a crash. Be honest, do you know what evidence to collect, what pictures to take, what documents to request, or what you shouldn't say to your insurance company? The Washington Accident Book Series is a must-have for drivers who want to be prepared for whatever the roads throw at them. Know your rights and how to avoid common mistakes after an accident by getting your free copy at WashingtonAccidentBooks.com.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Bump Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
The Mariners have an interesting decision to make. We don't yet know what they're going to do, but it's finally here. Bryce Miller, ready to get back to the Mariners. This is what he had to say in Everett.
I'm ready to go. I'm glad that I've been up here and I can be at the home games, but it's not the same. Just kind of knowing that I haven't contributed at all yet, besides just, booing Cal from here from time to time, but and just talking to the guys. But I'm ready to get back and get on the field and kind of help the team put some zeros up and string some wins together.
So I don't know if that's going to be Friday, but on this road trip, perhaps we're going to be joined by Seattle Times' Adam Jude, who initially had this report up in about less than 15 minutes. Obviously, there's a decision to be made with Luis Castillo. Bump, where do you stand right now and what should happen here?
I stand where I stood the other day I was standing.
10 toes down.
No, I still think you put him in the pen and, let him be that mid-reliever and set guys up. I think that sometimes you have to change not your game, but just your perspective on things to find your groove, and maybe he performs well enough and they put him back in the rotation, or knock on wood, someone gets banged up or needs to sit down and you have him ready to go. But we talked about this before. I don't think you trade him. I don't think anyone's going to want Castillo with this contract right now and the way that he's been playing. So allow him to give you 20 good pitches and just let loose, man. I think that takes being the setup guy. Obviously there is some pressure, but I think that might be a different kind of pressure that he can thrive in. So I say take him to the pen, see what he does.
Jason Churchill was on with Wyman and Bob yesterday and mentioned, if you do have that conversation, you got to tread lightly.
Is Luis Castillo the kind of personality? Does he have the kind of makeup? And does he have the kind of relationship with some of his other teammates and certainly the coaching staff and front office to take what they're saying to him at face value? We need to figure something out with you. We have a couple of options here. Here they are. How do you feel about them? It's not his choice, but you certainly don't. When you got a guy under contract making $24 million a year this year and next year, you don't want to create some sort of a relationship issue with the player there, but you also can't continue to run him out there when the stark difference between, we're assuming here at this point moving forward, between the other guys in the rotation and Luis Castillo are so significant. You just can't do that. You can't sacrifice the team's success for one player.
Which is very fair. You can't protect someone's feelings. You have to consider them. You talked about this yesterday. We had a whole conversation about how, you might say, who cares about someone's feelings? But feelings affect performance.
Yeah.
And mindset affects performance. You know this. And so you said you have to be careful of it.
That's one of the worst takes you texters sometimes have is ignoring the human part of the situation. Like, humans have emotions, they feel things, and it does affect it. The worst game I've ever played was because I was in my head about something. You know what I mean? Like, it affects it. So, but Castillo, from what I gather from him, seems like the guy who I don't think would put up a fight for it, would consider it, would take it all in and try to do what's best for the ball team. I mean, he's been in the league for a while now. He knows how this thing goes. I mean, I guarantee you, he himself is thinking about the possibilities of being in a 6-man rotation or probably going to the bullpen, all of that. He's thought about all this. He knows he's not playing at the level that he wants to play at. Yeah. So you have to explore all of those options. Anyone who's self-aware, which I think most athletes are, is already going through the scenarios of what could play out.
Yeah, that's the thing is, like, athletes have dealt with failure a ton. It's not unfamiliar territory. Jason Churchill also talked about why you might not have to turn to the bullpen right away. Maybe you do go to a 6-man rotation, not permanently, but just through a couple turns.
Can you do the 6-man thing maybe a couple of times through? It's always nice to have some quality in your rotation, or enough of it anyway, to be able to at some point, maybe 2-3 times a year, push guys back a day. It gives them kind of an advantage over the majority of the rest of the league, where there are a bunch of teams out there that might have a true number 1 and a true number 2, but their 3, 4, and 5 spots are all number 4, number 5 quality. Seattle, the last couple of years, maybe even this year, has pretty good quality. Castillo's, certainly been more inconsistent and not as good as, years in the past. But they have, otherwise they have 4 average or better quality starters. And if you go to a 6-man, you're not sacrificing a whole lot, at least in the short term.
And then when it's time to move him to the pen and what the long-term move looks like.
He's the odd man out right now. Like, if things don't change, he's the odd man out, and you have to do something with him. And I know the league, we talk about maybe he's hurt, maybe he's got soreness, maybe they can sneak him on the DL for a short period of time. But again, that is just a very short-term, solution anyway. And the league is really trying to prevent this whole fake injury thing. So the Mariners do not really do that a whole lot. There has to be something legitimate there. But yeah, Luis Castillo's the odd man out. And to be honest with you, long-term, nothing else changes. Hancock continues to pitch well enough. Certainly better than Castillo. Miller comes back as healthy. Everybody else is kind of doing their thing and healthy in that rotation. Luis Castillo is going to be the odd man out, and he has to go to the bullpen. He's going to be an awfully difficult arm to trade right now, too. So that may not be, a major possibility over the summer.
So Jason's with you on this one, where IL could be an option to buy you some time, but it's a Band-Aid. It's a short-term solution. It's not actually a long-term solution. And because that contract is difficult to trade, even for needy teams, the only long-term solution, if he doesn't drastically improve soon, might be putting him in the pen. But maybe you don't have to make it just yet.
You got some time. The only thing I don't like about the 6-man rotation is that I want Hancock on the mound as quickly as possible.
Totally get it.
Wu had a bounce-back game. I want to see him as quickly as possible. Yeah, it's only a day, but I'm sure they want to be on the mound as quickly as possible too. So, yeah, that's a conversation that needs to be had. Explore every scenario and try to make him understand, like, this is what's best for the team. And he knows he's a professional. Like, this dude has seen this situation go down before. It's new territory for him because now he's the guy that's in the middle of these conversations.
Yeah. No, I totally agree about your final point about kind of the downside to a 6-man rotation. I think most people, very understandably, fans, critics, it doesn't matter, care about preservation and health in a long season. And in theory, I mean, it's true. It's not just in theory. A 6-man rotation is fewer outings for guys, fewer innings pitched. You, in theory, could save those arms a little bit for a deep playoff run. But if one guy's bad and one guy's given up a ton of hits and hard contact and home runs, what you're actually doing is just tossing out a win every week.
Yeah.
So it's...
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Ain't nobody... Simply no one has time.
Simply no one has
No one has time. You're listening to Bump and Stacy on Seattle Sports and the Seattle Sports app. We got a couple questions about Bryce's return. We're going to ask Seattle Times' Adam Jude next.
After the biggest series win so far this season.
You just beat the Braves, who had been the best team in baseball, and beat them 2 out of 3.
That shows a little resilience.
How about that, folks?
The Mariners hit the road, looking to build momentum.
This is an opportunity road trip for the Mariners.
And create some distance atop the AL West.
You're not far from sitting in first place, because the rest of the teams, nobody's running away with it.
Mariners, White Sox, tonight. First pitch at 4:40. Pre-game at 3:30. Every pitch, every game, one app for free. The Seattle Sports app.
Hey, it's Mike Salk here for my friends at Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel. And if you're looking for a spot to catch all the spring baseball and sports, I got a place for you. Hawks Peak Sports Bar and Grill. It's your home for game days with more than 60 TVs, so you won't miss a play. They got great food and drinks, and nothing beats the views. So get in on all the action at Hawks Peak. Head to snocasino.com for all the details. That's snocasino.com. It is Seattle's closest Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel. Please game responsibly.
Hello, my friends. It's the Graz here, encouraging you to golf local. Our region is blessed with a ton of golf that isn't very expensive and can accommodate all types of skill levels. Check out the premier courses at Bellevue, Bill Wright, Cedar Crest, Inner Bay, Jackson Park, Lake Padden, Legion Memorial, Linwood, or Walter Hall. You know, wherever you are in Western Washington, you're not far from a premier course. Why not book a tee time online or play Top Tracer at the range at Inner Bay, Bill Wright, and Jackson Park? So what are you waiting for? Play the courses. Play Premier.
Hey, Brock Ewart here for my friends at People Come First, or PCF Construction Group. And if you've been dreaming of that new deck, you got to get a hold of PCF. Call them before the great weather arrives and their schedule gets totally filled up. With a new deck, patio cover, heater, and fireplace from PCF, you can enjoy the outdoors year-round no matter what the weather brings. And for a limited time, how about this? Get 50% off demolition costs up to $5,000 when you book your project with PCF. Contact People Come First Construction Group for all the details. They designed and built our outdoor living space, and we love it. Start planning and designing your dream deck now so you're ready to build this summer. Planning, permitting, and construction can take a little time, so get started today. Get project ideas, browse their amazing photos, and look at all the offer details at pcfgroup.com.
Making your outdoor space your favorite place. With People Come First.
How was your break?
It was great until I stopped for gas. Prices have gone up almost $1 with no end in sight. I might have to start watching how much I drive.
That's exactly why I use Upside. I never pay full price for gas with the free Upside app.
Upside?
Yes, Upside. It's the free app that gives you cash back just for buying the gas you're already buying. So even with the rising gas prices, I'll never have to limit how much I drive.
Does that actually add up to anything?
Just last year, I made over $200 with the Upside app.
Wow, that's serious extra cash. I'm downloading the free Upside app right now.
Download the free Upside app to earn cash back on the gas you're already buying. Use promo code THRIVE25 for an extra 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. You can cash out anytime, right to your bank account, or an e-gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code THRIVE25 for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first fill-up. That's THRIVE25.
Offers vary by user and location. Go to upside.com for terms and conditions.
The Camping World Ultimate RV Show is coming to Angel of the Winds RV Resort in Seattle. Parking and admission are free. Join us May 14th to the 17th to shop special show pricing on over 200 fully staged new and used RVs. Get an exclusive first look at new models. Check out the latest gear and accessories. Bring the family to enjoy our Kids Zone and enter to win a new RV. Don't miss the Ultimate RV Show in Seattle, May 14th to the 17th. We'll see you there.
Tired of hearing scary radio ads about the IRS? Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000 or $500,000, we have a solution. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS with zero risk to you. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with a BBB. End your tax nightmare today by visiting TRA.com or call 800-583-6681. That's 800-583-6681.
T-Mobile has an exclusive bundle for customers 55 and up.
I'm Sarah Bowl.
Yeah, I'm Frank Bowl.
A reliable network is key for us. And with T-Mobile, it's been wonderful. And going to the 55 plus plan saved us so much money.
A lot.
And that's important. Trying to keep costs down. The home internet's been perfect. It's fast, it's quick. The setup was so easy, it took less than 15 minutes.
It was like, ta-da! If you want simplicity, coverage, reliability, you want the whole package, T-Mobile has it. Right now, T-Mobile customers 55 and up can get 2 phone lines on America's best network, plus America's fastest 5G home internet for just $30 each.
$30 per month each line with autopay plus taxes and fees. Minimum age 55. Pricing for home internet rely on 2 lines of Essentials Choice 55. $35 connection charge per line required. Best mobile network and fastest 5G home internet based on analysis by Ookla of Speed Test Intelligence Data 2H 2025. All rights reserved.
This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything Seattle sports. Seattle Sports Snapshot.
Two bits of news breaking this morning from ESPN's Adam Schefter. First, finally, a date on the NFL schedule release, May 14th. There was speculation this could be pushed back to the third week of May, but instead it's a pretty standard release date after all. Again, May 14th, NFL regular season schedule. Secondly, the NFL will not have to go with replacement refs. The NFL and NFL Referees Association have reached a 7-year collective bargaining agreement that will run through the 2032 NFL season.
Snapshot, brought to you by Miller Lite. When it's game time, it's Miller time. From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Bump and Stacy
on Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app and at seattlesports.com.
Now, here are your hosts, Michael Bumpus and Stacy Ross. Here we go now.
Joined now by the Seattle Times' Adam Jude on the Emerald Queen Casino Sportsbook Hotline. Adam, how's it going?
Fantastic. How you guys doing?
Great. You had a report yesterday with a few key injury updates on Bryce Miller and also Cal Raleigh. Tell fans what they need to know.
Well, yeah, let's start with Cal Raleigh. Obviously, coming in, one of the Mariners' most important players this season. It's been a frustrating start for Cal. And then, a week ago at this time last Friday, he tweaked his side muscle. Sounds like a minor oblique issue. Obviously, he missed the weekend against the Royals and then sat out Monday again against the Braves, came back on Tuesday and Wednesday as a designated hitter. But I've been told he'll be back in the lineup at catcher tonight. So I think that's obviously an encouraging development for the Mariners. Cal seems to, obviously he's the captain back there, and the pitching staff, the entire operation is better when Cal is feeling good and back there behind the plate. So it's been a frustrating start to the season, no doubt about it, for Cal Raleigh, and then add on the side issue here. But sounds like things are trending in the right direction, and I am curious to see this afternoon what that corresponding move will be. But I fully expect Cal Raleigh to be back catching regularly here over the weekend.
Adam, for all the people who didn't listen to Curtis's extra innings yesterday, what's the scouting report on these White Sox?
Ooh. Well, I'm curious to see, what Jared Kelenic might have in store. Old friend, obviously much hyped Mariners prospect of the past. It was just almost exactly 5 years ago that he came up from the minors and made his Mariners debut before ultimately being traded a couple of years later to Atlanta. But that'll be a familiar face, and I'm curious to see what that looks like with Jared Kelenic. But yeah, man, the White Sox have been one of the more surprising stories in baseball this year. Murakami has been an absolute beast coming over from Japan. He was a guy that, not a lot of teams believed in, kind of lingered out there as a free agent throughout the winter, and ultimately ended up signing a short-term deal, I believe 2 years, $34 million with the White Sox. It was probably for him, the last resort. The White Sox have been the worst team in baseball the last couple of years, certainly the worst team in the American League. And so for them to sort of take a flyer on him and him to take a flyer on them, I think for both sides, it's worked out beautifully so far. So I'm really curious to see what that looks like here against the Mariners pitching over the weekend, because Murakami has truly been one of the best stories in baseball here early on. The Mariners and 28 other teams whiffed on this guy, and how long can he keep it going? How long can he keep these massive home runs going? Like I said, it's been a great story, and I'm curious to see what that looks like this weekend.
I know that Jose Ferrer might not have been the most big name addition for the Mariners, but we knew that it would be a key one, and he had kind of a weird start to the season. Wasn't really like blowing people away, and I know some of that might have been bad luck as well, but a great outing. And I think people really loved hearing Dan say that he specifically wanted to go in a safe situation. What have you seen from him, not just to start the year, but kind of how his season's taking shape?
Yeah, outside of probably Emerson Hancock, Jose Ferrer has maybe been the best thing that's happened to them so far. He's certainly up there. Obviously not a whole lot of Mariners fans, not a whole lot of us knew a ton about Jose Ferrer this winter when the Mariners swung the trade for 5 years, we've all heard, how good Harry Ford is and how excited have been to get Harry Ford up here and his development. And, when that trade was, I think a lot of Mariner fans were pretty surprised and shocked that, you only end up getting a left-handed reliever no one's really heard of. But lo and behold, here we are in early May, and I think Jose Ferrer's been, the most valuable reliever the Mariners have had, certainly with Andres Munoz's struggles there in the ninth inning. Having a guy like Ferrer they could call on, in a couple of save situations here early on has just obviously been enormous for the Mariners. And yeah, you look at some of his under the hood numbers, as they like to say. Ferrer has been not only one of the best left-handed relievers in baseball, but one of the best relievers, period, this year. His baseball savant page is just dark red so far here, and that's always an indication that his the bat and ball stuff, all of the expected, nerdy stats have been exactly where you want them to be. But Jose Ferrer has been awesome for the Mariners, and it's, again, given Andres Munoz's struggles, it's just hard to picture where the Mariners, how deep of a hole they would be, considering Matt Brash and Gabe Spire both on the injury list as well. But Bizzardo and Ferrer have obviously been huge pieces for that bullpen so far.
What do you make of the defensive struggles the Mariners have had at times this year, and how do they lock back in? Is it just go shag balls and go through your routine? Like how do they get out of this?
Yeah, on the one hand, I think there's a couple ways to look at this. Like, I don't think anyone reasonably expected this to be a great defensive team with what they were rolling out there in spring training. You're asking a guy like Brendan Donovan, just coming off sports hernia surgery this winter, to move from second base to a much more demanding position at third. That was always going to be a difficult transition. And I don't think the Mariners are done, experimenting and moving people around there on the infield, particularly at third base here this season. But certainly with some of J.P. Crawford's struggles have been a little more pronounced and a little more drastic than I think the Mariners expected. But Colt Emerson will figure into the picture here at some point at third base. But Cole Young, what he's done as a second-year second baseman has obviously been one of the best things that's happened to the Mariners as well. And defensively, he's just been so good. You can kind of picture in your mind's eye, right? How many times has he gone to his right, making a diving play, or going behind second base and scooping it and getting a perfect one-hop throw to Josh Naylor there at first base. But they need more of that, certainly. Julio Rodriguez, when he's right in center field, is as good as anyone in baseball. He's had a couple hiccups, but I don't think there's any concern there long-term with Julio. But they do need to get the right side of their infield sort of sorted out. I think J.P. Crawford's going to be your shortstop the rest of this season. We've really seen him come up with some big moments offensively, really kind of holding things down in the leadoff spot while Brendan Donovan has been out. But I will say it does feel like this has been a pattern for the Mariners the past few years. They tried Jorge Polanco at third base, if you remember, early on last season too, kind of a failed experiment before moving him more into that full-time DH role. And maybe we'll see something similar with Brendan Donovan here too. He'll be coming back, it sounds like, today as well. I don't know if he'll be at third base full-time, but they've obviously had to rely on Leo Rivas a lot more than they expected to. So the bottom line is this shakeup on the right side of the infield, especially at third base, isn't over yet, and I would expect the defense to improve as the season goes along, just because that does feel like that has been the pattern with these guys the past few years. They get better as the season goes along, and they certainly need to be. They need to be better than they have been.
Absolutely agree with you when it comes to some of the main guys we're talking about, right? Like when we asked you about Julio, Naylor, Cal, it's like, look, Cal isn't going to be hitting under 200 all season long. Naylor and Julio will both have hot streaks, and that's just going to happen. There are some newer faces, though, where I'm not quite sure what to expect from them, like their lefty lineup, right? If I look at Ref Snyder or something, I'm like, God, I guess it was pitched as someone who could just mash lefties, and then you haven't really seen a lot of production from some of those platoon bats. Is that something you expect to kind of gear up, or is that maybe still a lingering question you have?
Yeah, it's a totally fair question, and it's got to be one until a guy like Ref Snyder proves he can hit consistently. He's had a couple of big moments, no doubt about it. Won a game in St. Louis with a ninth inning pinch hit homer a week and a half ago, and you thought that might be a springboard for him. It sounds like he's been dealing with a minor knee injury too, so that certainly doesn't help. But they've got to get better. I think they're 4-7, I want to say off the top of my head, against left-handed starters. That's not good enough. Again, for a team this talented and with the expectations as high as they were for the Mariners, they've got to be better. And whether that's letting, some of their lefty bats, see some more left-handed pitching, or just, hoping that Brendan Donovan getting reinserted into the lineup, adds some greater depth to the rest of the setup. They've got to do something. I don't know if it needs to necessarily be something drastic, but Rob Refsnyder has been the past few years one of the best right-handed hitters against left-handed pitching, and at some point you would expect those numbers to sort of go back and even out at some point. But they have to. Cal Raleigh from the right side hasn't had a ton of success this season to start with, and that was one of the biggest things for Cal last year, is just how well he mashed left-handed pitching. And again, those numbers will normalize at some point, but if you're the Mariners, you'd expect them and certainly want them to happen here soon.
Anyone other than Emerson grabbing your attention in the minors?
Certainly Cade Anderson, and funny enough, I'm writing about both Colt Emerson and Cade Anderson here this morning. We'll have something ready at SeattleTimes.com here shortly. But, if I'm a Mariners fan, or any prospect, Nick, throughout baseball, those are two of the most hyped guys in all the minor leagues right now, and for all the right reasons. Cade Anderson has just been absolutely unbelievable his first month as a professional. And nobody's touching him. I don't have the numbers in front of me, but they are absolutely wild there in Double-A, and it's only natural to wonder, okay, what's the plan here? Are they gonna, try to push him up to Triple-A? Is he going to be on the major league roster at some point this season? I think those are all fair questions for fans to have, and I have them too. So I'm trying to answer some of those and see what things look like, not only for Cade Anderson, but for Ryan Sloan too, who was absolutely dominant for the Mariners throughout spring training as well. So Colt Emerson, Cade Anderson, Ryan Sloan, three of the best names in the Mariners system and throughout the minor leagues too. And I would expect all three guys to be on the Mariners major league radar sooner rather than later as well. And obviously it's an exciting time when we're talking about Mariners pitching, but Colt Emerson, after signing that $95 million extension here to start the season, he's been dealing with a little bit of a wrist ailment down in Triple-A. It's kind of slowed his development. His numbers aren't quite where he would expect them to be, or the Mariners expect him to be. He's been striking out a little more often here this season, but if he can kind of normalize that a little bit, I think we all expect to see him up with the Mariners here in the next month or two, certainly.
Sticking with kind of speaking of injuries, an injury question here. The Mariners were fairly lucky. And even now, there are other teams that certainly have it worse when it comes to injuries. Houston lost, obviously, a key arm, just lost Carlos Correa. That being said, we have seen a couple names land on the IL for Seattle, including key parts of the bullpen. I know that the Mariners and Dan can be tight-lipped with updates, and I know that these guys are on the IL, so we kind of understand, it's a minimum of this amount of time. But do you know anything about when they could be getting a few guys back, or about whether there are more short-term injuries versus long-term ones with the guys that are out?
Yeah, I don't have any specific answers, unfortunately. I would suspect that just my read on the situation is Matt Brash is more of a precautionary one. Obviously, there's something there, and just given that, he had Tommy John surgery just 2 years ago, the Mariners are being really conservative with Matt Brash, and that feels like the right move right now. Again, it's still early in the season. That's a guy that they want for October and September, and they hope into deep into October again as well. So they're going to take their time with Matt Brash, but that does feel like more of a short-term issue, certainly relative to Gabe Spire. Again, I don't have a ton of details or a ton of insight with where Spire's at right now, but that does feel like one where it might be more a matter of a month or more as opposed to weeks. Again, that's just a little more speculative on my part, because as you said, there haven't been exactly forthcoming with some of the pitching injuries lately, but It's a tough situation, but it's also not a surprising one, given that, the Mariners, again, they pitched deep into October last year, and in Spire's case specifically, he turned right around and ramped things up in the offseason so he could pitch for Team USA as well in March. So this, to me, is the least surprising injury of any of them with this pitching staff right now, just because of how much the Mariners relied on Gabe Spire and how good he was last year. And then again, pitching for Team USA and just didn't have a whole lot of downtime and bullpen injuries. It's just the nature of it, right? Sadly for those guys, it's just more and more we're seeing these max effort and this era of max effort pitching. Arm injuries are just sort of part of the deal right now. It's unfortunate. It's sad, but it's not really surprising. And Spire is one where, again, I don't know specifically, but for me, that's one that it looks a little more ominous than maybe some of the other ones right now.
Keep an eye out for the latest from Adam Jude at SeattleTimes.com and the Seattle Times app. He is Seattle Times Mariners reporter Adam Jude. Thanks, Adam.
Thanks, Adam.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Let's get to 4 Down territory.
This is 4 Down territory, going inside the game with former Seahawks and Coug wide receiver Michael Bumpus.
First down, who's a player you think can be a decent quarterback if developed correctly?
I'm low-key Mr. ACC now, since I covered him all last year and the year
Big
before. So I've spent a lot of time watching film on this young man. Last year, didn't have the year that he thought he would have. He was a Heisman candidate going into the season. But Cade Klubnik got signed by the Jets, quarterback out of Clemson. And the reason why I like him is just his mobility. Played 4 years over there at Clemson last year, tossed 16 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. I'm focusing on the year before. I think last year a lot of things are going on with Clemson. They didn't hit that portal tough enough, didn't really support him. Year before, 36 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. But my man can run. Again, I'm kind of washing out last year. The year before, he rushed for 463 and 7 touchdowns. He's the modern quarterback. He's like a poor man's Joe Burrow right now, but probably a little faster than Joe Burrow. The thing is, you're over there with the Jets. How are they going to develop you, right? And I think if he's given a shot, whether with the Jets or with somebody else, let him sit for a few years, learn. The dude can play. And I know it wasn't a really heavy quarterback draft, but he was one of the guys to start the season that I had my eyes on. Just that Clemson in general just didn't have a great year.
Second down. Big prediction here. Who will be the NFL's offensive rookie of the year?
Curtis spoke about him yesterday. Tyson over there with New Orleans, man. I think going into the season, he was considered the best receiver in the draft. And then you got Tate over there with Ohio State, who had himself a good year. So you got Smith at Ohio State, too, who's going to be nasty when he comes out. But he's big. He's big, and he has bounce. I was watching film on this dude, and it's like when he jumps, he floats. There's some guys who just hang up there for a while. His comp was Odell Beckham going into the draft. I think that in that Kellen Moore offense over there, they're going to layer things and find ways to get him the football. And he's a good kid too, man. I mean, he got drafted. He's singing gospel music up on the stage. He's crying. I'm like, all right, that's a dude you want in your organization, man. And I had a chance to interview him before the season started. Just a good dude, and work ethic is crazy. If he can stay healthy, that was his knock. He's been banged up a few times, but I think that Kellen Moore's gonna let that thing go. And he's going to be a big reason for that. He'll have some options over there with Achane and Kamara in the backfield. Low key, I'm interested to see what that offense looks like with New Orleans.
It's really interesting. Didn't believe in maybe not Lemon with Philly. Just too many guys, too much to go around.
Well, I think Lemon can do his thing. I mean, and Lemon
really,
too.
Different offense, so I can see it.
They have to open that thing up.
Yeah.
AJ is mad for a reason over there.
Yeah. What if Lemon were to go to the Rams? Would he be your pick?
That would be terrifying.
Because he'd be your pick.
He is. He's that dude. He's that special.
Third down. Who's quietly gotten better in the NFC West?
Man, I was peeping these dudes because we're focused on the Seahawks and the Rams as we should. But low key, I think the Niners are going to be just fine. They got Greenlaw back. Juwan Jennings just signed. Trent Williams signed for another year. And with them, it's just about getting healthy. If they can get healthy, they'll be fine. You got Stribling over there, who I understand why Niners fans aren't excited about Stribling. But he was at Washington State, so I got to watch him for a year or two. He's a big play kind of guy, and he's just a big receiver. They said he's good blocking in the run game. Quietly, everyone's talking about the Rams and the Seahawks, as you should. But let's not forget, Niners were 12-5 last year, right? And if they don't get banged up, I think they're okay. So quietly, the Niners over there making moves. And I think they like operating like this because when the season started last year or during the offseason, it was Rams, Niners, Rams, Niners. And the Hawks, I mean, some guys actually picked the Hawks to finish fourth in this division. So this is a different place for the Niners to be. I think it might be refreshing for those guys over there because they don't have the spotlight on them. I know their draft didn't work out the way that a lot of people wanted them to work out, but we'll see. If their first 2 picks work out, if Stribling gives you 500 or 600 yards, and that's the thing too with this offense, everybody eats in this offense. Like, you just look at the stats. You got McCaffrey led all with 900 receiving yards. You got Jennings with 643. You got Kittle with 628. You got Bourne with 551. You got Pearson with 528. They spread that ball around, so there's enough passes to go around, and we'll see what they do. You're
obviously a fan of offense. You watch the game differently as a former player, former coach, former coordinator. If you had to pick them between McVay and Kyle Shanahan's very similar offenses, same coaching tree, which one would you take?
I would take...
Or, like, who do you prefer where you're like, I just like his offense more?
I would pick Shanahan's offense, but McVay's persona, like just the way he goes about his business. I like the brash, aggressive, I don't care about you type of thing. And I think that kind of mentality will win you a few games. Shanahan is so low-key. You know, I think that sometimes that bites him in the butt, but he can go either way with that.
McVay's a yell talker.
Yeah.
But when I do it, it's a problem. But he yell talks a lot, which I respect and appreciate. I feel very seen. 4th down. Who do you think could be a surprise when he eventually gets his turn?
Again, another quarterback. And we talked to Eric Williams yesterday, and he said he didn't think that he was going to work out over here in this situation. But I think Carson Beck has a chance. He's played in like 50-something games. 50-something games. Dang. Never mind.
What?
Jennings signed with the Vikings, not the Niners. I thought they signed him back. Take all of that away. Take 3rd down and then throw it in the trash. All right, anyway. So, what was I saying? Carson Beck, 50-something games he's played over there. Saw 2 national championships with Georgia, and then went to a national championship with Miami. I look at Bo Nix, and what do we praise Bo Nix because he played in 50-something games, and that's something we're going to see more and more of because these guys are spending more time getting paid to play in college football. With Carson Beck is about decision making. Again, if he's another dude who can sit there for a minute, I'm not saying he'll be like a Hall of Famer, Pro Bowl type of dude, but he could be a guy that you got to build around. So we'll see what happens over there with Arizona. Eric didn't like him. I kind of like that pick. And you're sitting behind Jacoby Brissett as well. So, and he's been in the league for a while. Learn from Jacoby, sit and marinate, see what happens.
How much of this is you convincing yourself because of our bet yesterday, where I said I said the Arizona Cardinals are going to finish potentially as the number 1 pick, but with a worse record than the Browns. You said the Browns are going to finish with a worse record. I don't know why we settled on those 2 teams. I mean, they are 2 bad teams with quarterback questions, so it's easy, but I was just convinced the Arizona Cardinals would be so bad. And I hope our sister station at Arizona Sports doesn't make me eat my words here. But, like, I'm wondering now if you're starting to put out the narrative. You know what I mean? You're starting to push the fake news narrative.
I honestly didn't even consider that when I was talking about this.
I think that's you're convincing yourself.
I think I like Beck and him being with the Cardinals. If he can sit for a little bit, we'll see. All you got to do is be better than the Browns. That's not...
I think it's going to be harder than you think.
You think so?
Yes, I think I think Eric Williams was right. That Browns defense is going to be pretty good. They got a lot of talent in the draft. They have a massive question at quarterback, but also, like, they're gonna be a really fun upset twice. You know what I mean?
So you said the Cardinals will be worse than the Browns?
Yes.
All right, just making sure I got that clear.
And I'll
Cardinals will be
die
worse
on
than
that
the
hill.
All right.
Truly, if the Cardinals finish with a better record than the Browns, I'll throw myself off a hill.
Don't do that.
I won't. I won't do that. You're listening to Bump and Stacy on Seattle Sports and the Seattle Sports app. It is Mother's Day this weekend. We all have to go get some gifts. If you're someone who's bought a gift last minute, it probably wasn't weirder than the one Dan Hurley got his wife. That's next.
Think you know the Mariners? Not if you aren't subscribed to the Daily Mariners newsletter from Seattle Sports.
That's what they've been waiting for.
The latest Mariners news and injury updates, exclusives from Mariners insider Shannon Dreyer.
You look at the pieces and how it works.
Plus the best takes and breakdowns from your favorite Seattle sports hosts and contributors.
The Mariners seem to be trying to build something that I think is a little bit more sustainable.
The Daily Mariners newsletter.
Monster solo home run.
Subscribe at seattlesports.com/newsletter.
When I go to a dealership, I don't want to be pushed into buying something. Sometimes I just want to look around, test drive, check out new features. When I went to Wayscar Ford in Auburn, they got that. There was no pressure. It actually turned out to be a fun experience because they were genuinely excited to show me cool features and newer models. They only want to sell you a car if you want to buy one. The thing I want most is to be able to trust the person I'm working with. A new car's a huge investment. I have to be honest, I don't know a ton about cars, but I do know. It's the second largest thing next to a house that most people will ever buy. So, yeah, I want to make sure I'm buying from a reputable place. I want a warranty, and I want to make sure that I'm covered if for any reason I change my mind. Wayscar Ford has that. A 5-day or 500-mile, no questions asked, 100% money-back guarantee. There's a reason they've been in Auburn for 104 years. Go see them. Wayscar Ford in Auburn. That's wayscarford.com.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group. Did you buy a timeshare because they told you it was a great investment? That's a lie. Most timeshares can be bought online for $1. To find out what your timeshare is worth and to cancel it, call us today and we'll send you our timeshare exit kit free with all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley for your free exit info guide. 800-771-1300. That's 800-771-1300.
If the world were like a Sleep Number mattress, everything would adapt for your comfort. Because as your life changes and your body changes, Sleep Number mattresses adapt and shift to give you personalized comfort night after night. And now everything's on sale during our Memorial Day event. Save up to $1,200 on mattresses for a limited time. To experience a whole new world of comfort, visit a Sleep Number store or go to sleepnumber.com. Sleep Number, to a good life sleep.
Hey, Mike Salk here for all my friends at Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel. And the show lineup is pretty sick. You like comedy? Chris Tucker, Friday, June 26th. And David Spade on Saturday, August 15th. For music, Hinder is going to be here Friday, July 3rd. And then a little country music, Mitchell Tenpenny on Friday, July 10th. You can go to snocasino.com for all those details. Remember, it's Seattle's closest. It's Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel. Please game responsibly.
Wait! Before you change the station, listen to this.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today. 1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Donate your car at carsforkids.org. That's cars with a K. Pickup is quick and easy. You'll also get a vacation voucher and a tax deduction.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today. 1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today. Donate your car today.
Heading outdoors or on the water this weekend? Check in with Joey and Nelly on the Outdoor Line from 6 to 8 a.m. every Saturday on Seattle Sports and the Seattle Sports app.
Progressive knows it ain't easy navigating the open plains of home insurance, but there is one man who can help tame that wild herd of options. The Home Quote Explorer.
Note, Progressive's Home Quote Explorer is not a real person, but an online tool that lets you compare home insurance.
He's the type of fella who helps you decide on the right insurance, even if it ain't with him.
Again, not a person, just an online tool that helps you find great home coverage.
A real pioneer.
Okay, fine. Just do the thing. Yeah! Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and third-party insurers. Comparison rates not available in all states or situations.
This deer season, John Deere wants to give you the home field advantage. We're bringing you the best offers of the season, whether that's cash off on select new machines or a shot at the ultimate Major League Baseball prize package. Because right now, you can enter for a chance to win an MLB All-Star experience for you and 3 friends, complete with travel and lodging for All-Star Week this July. Deer season is going on now through June 3rd. Visit johndeere.com/deer season to enter and view the offers and complete contest rules. Major League Baseball trademarks used with permission.
For over 113 years, Pacific Lamp and Supply Company has been your #1 lighting specialist in Washington, from the Space Needle in Seattle all the way to the Riverwalk in Spokane. With the largest lighting inventory in Washington, Pacific Lamp's knowledgeable and experienced staff can assist with any lighting issue, including intricate lighting and control designs. Plus, they work with all utilities in Washington to get you the best available lighting rebates. Pacific Lamp and Supply Company, Washington's lighting experts since 1912. Visit pacificlamp.com.
For over 50 years, Bucky's Complete Auto Repair has been the one locals trust for honest pricing, expert service, and guaranteed repairs. This dedication has earned them a Carfax Preferred designation. At Bucky's, every customer gets detailed Carfax updates, timely service reminders, and a full service history, all at your fingertips. With 16 family-owned locations, no appointment needed, and easy financing, Bucky's makes auto care simple. Visit Bucky's.com today and drive with confidence. Bucky's.com.
This is The Timeline
with Bump and Stacy.
Brought to you by 1-800-DUI-AWAY.
File our first story under just bad luck. Cubs All-Star starter Matthew Boyd has landed on the IL with a torn meniscus. How did he tear it? It wasn't in a game. It was at home playing with his kids Wednesday morning. He's expected to miss at least a month after undergoing successful surgery. So glad the surgery was successful. Glad it's not some year-long thing and he's able to get back. The Cubs, by the way, just like a crazy story right now. But the IL from tearing your meniscus playing with your kids is something I imagine the two of you fathers have. There have probably been times where you were like, listen, kids.
We've had close calls, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, especially my kids now are older, so they can move.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, if I'm guarding them in basketball or something, there's effort that has to go into this. But you know what this sounds like? Sounds like he was doing something he wasn't supposed to do, and he blamed it on his kids. Like maybe he was hooping or something. He was really hooping.
Or roughhousing with them, sure. I just know that
I'm intrigued by that theory.
Whenever I play with our girls who are 2 and 5 as of next week, whenever I'm on my knees and like my heels are exposed, our 2-year-old Blair will try to stand on my heels, and it is one of the worst pains I've ever felt. She's a psycho. She's crazy. So I could definitely see how Boyd would potentially tear his meniscus.
That's the thing. I think that there are people who have clearly injured themselves doing something they're not supposed to and then lied about it. Totally agree. I also know people that have gotten the dumbest injuries. My sister broke her ankle taking the trash out.
How'd you dislocate your elbow?
Playing the floor is lava.
Silly
Which
games.
would be exactly what Matthew Boyd might have been doing. The floor is lava is an incredibly dangerous game.
I wonder. Yeah, I don't know. I'm sticking with he was out there hooping, doing something he ain't supposed to do.
How to mind the theory. Don't forget that Mother's Day is this weekend, so start shopping now. And that sounds like I'm giving you an ad, but really it's kind of a warning. You don't want to be Dan Hurley in this moment. UConn head coach Dan Hurley shared a funny story of a last-minute gift purchase he got for his wife while on the road.
Lose at the buzzer year 2 at Wagner, and it was a devastating loss. I realized on the way home that it's my wife's birthday and I don't have anything. But the good news is that I'm driving past a Walmart. That is a 24-hour Walmart. So I run in there. I got what they had left of the cards. I got her like a cinnamon Yankee candle and a George Foreman grill. And when I handed her bounty over to her, the tears immediately started. Like, this guy, and the guy's a losing coach. I just watched.
What the hell did I do? What did I do to marry this guy?
This guy looks like he's heading back to St. Benedict's, and he just gave me a grill that I could just grill chicken or patties. So anything I do this weekend, literally, anything I do has just got to be better than that.
I'm going to be honest. This is irrational, and I recognize that. But if I was married for a long time to someone who had a lot of disposable income to get gifts, and he got me a George Foreman grill
and a Yankee candle,
I would think he was cheating on me. I would think he was cheating on me, and he didn't care about me or love me enough to put in more thought and that he got a nicer gift for his mistress. I'm going to be 100% real. My first gut instinct would be like, when you start seeing a decline in the gifts and a lack of thought, that's where your mind's going to go.
Or they've been married so long.
Yeah.
And that stuff doesn't really matter.
Yes.
The simple things, you
But
know?
when he was like, she cried, I was like, I'll tell you why she cried.
Oh,
It was a horrible gift.
It was a horrible gift.
Oh,
That's
she
an
cried.
objectively.
I thought she was crying, like laughing cry.
Maybe both,
Maybe,
because that's
yeah.
also objectively hilarious.
Uh-huh.
Like if this was like my stepdad getting it for my mom, I have tears in my eyes from laughing. This is a horrible gift, and I don't know how in a super center you went
There's
to.
so many other things to get.
There's jewelry.
Just get her a TV.
There's a jewelry counter there. You could get anything else: clothing, a sweater, a George Foreman grill.
I'll tell you one thing though, George Foreman grill and an air fryer, two of the best purchases of my life.
Sure, as a gift.
Yeah.
You know what? It doesn't even
To
hit the
the
same
person
because
you love the most? Yeah.
what if your partner got you, Bump, a really expensive toilet bowl cleaner? And you were like, this is
Had a
something I
water
could use.
attachment to
Yeah,
it.
and you were like, this
Yeah.
is something I could use. Like this, I get it. This is very useful, but like nothing about this is romantic.
Here's the thing, Stacey. I'm a man. Our gifts are really simple. Like the woman gets the extravagant gift. It's like, here, Dad. I remember for Father's Day one time. I appreciate it. My kids got me a mug and some golf balls. I go, you know what? That's what's up. So if someone were to give me something like that, I would. It makes sense.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Dudes be doing them twos all the time.
Someone said my mother-in-law received a trash compactor on for Mother's Day one year, and she never got over it.
Trash compactor.
It's kind of cool though.
My stepdad got my mom a pan for Christmas.
A single pan,
A pan.
nonstick.
Guess what he got her the next year because she was so upset?
A pot.
A diamond ring, you're right.
Okay.
I think he knew immediately, like, oh, I have an assignment. The next
Can't go wrong with jewelry.
The next year she got very nice jewelry.
Can't go wrong. You know who I give the best gifts to is my daughter. My daughter, I will really think
That's
about
beautiful.
what she wants.
And her expectation from her future partner will be that you give me thoughtful gifts that you know I'll like.
Yeah. I'm a horrible gift giver, though.
George Foreman grill is crazy. It's objectively the weirdest possible thing you could give someone.
It's the appliance you can get in any store. Like, it's not exclusive either.
It's also like, did you get this so that I could make you some chicken? Sit down, babe. Dinner's ready. Give me an hour. The audacity of this gift. I'm moving on. Could Mike Trout be traded? I know that feels insane because he's been so loyal to the Angels organization. It's kind of the thing that people have talked about with his career, sacrificing potentially, getting a World Series win to stay with Anaheim. But he's having a bounce back year so far. Would the Angels consider trading him? They're certainly not contending. Former Angels manager Joe Madden told Foul Territory they might not have a better opportunity to move Mike Trout than right now.
If they could restock in a very healthy way, and that would be up to their determination how they evaluate prospects. But yes, I would send him out. I would send him out for his own benefit, for the benefit of baseball, getting an opportunity to see him play in a playoff situation, just not unlike what happened with Show when he went to the Dodgers, and all of a sudden he's become kind of a showtime. And Mikey, looks really good right now. I'm watching him in center field. He's moving well. You watch him. I saw him score first to home, I think, and I saw him. The camera happened to be on him going from around third base to the plate, and then he actually slid into home plate. And I thought, wow, he must be feeling pretty good if he just didn't run through the bag, slid into it, and he never lost stride, and the effort level was good. So, yeah, if there's no better time for them to do it than right now, get something in return for it. It's not conceding defeat by any means. It's just a smart baseball maneuver. And if in any way they could hook up with a group that they feel good about the return, I think it would be wise.
You had a bit of a reaction to it's not conceding defeat by any means.
I mean, it's not? You're saying this thing is a wrap. We got to rebuild. Hey, Mike, there's a lovely place a few miles down the road that will love your services.
Time for the IRG injury report brought to you by IRG Physical and Hand Therapy. Cal Raleigh's expected to be behind the dish tonight. He hasn't caught since dealing with some side discomfort that sidelined him for 3 games. Meanwhile, Brendan Donovan, dealing with that groin injury, is going to be activated off the IL today. And Bryce Miller, who's been working through an oblique, says he's ready to rejoin the Mariners after his most recent rehab outing with Everett.
I'm ready to go. I'm glad that I've been up here and I can be at the home games, but it's not the same. Just kind of knowing that I haven't contributed at all yet, besides just, booing Cal from here from time to time, but and just talking to the guys. But I'm ready to get back and get on the field and kind of help the team put some zeros up and string some wins together.
And that's the latest on those injuries. You're listening to Bump and Stacy on Seattle Sports and the Seattle Sports app. Getting back to the Mariners at noon with ESPN's David Schoenfield.
MLB Network insider John Morosi with Wyman and Bob.
Just head-scratching moments, just booting ball, just sloppy play.
Are the Mariners really as far down as they appear? Turns out they are. 28 out of 30 in terms of defensive wins above replacement. It's a concern. The numbers say it's a concern. Your eyes say it's a concern. And for a team that's built around pitching, defense, run prevention, you can't give extra out.
Subscribe to Seattle Sports on YouTube and watch the full interview.
Welcome to IRG Sports Injury Update. We're with Shannon O'Kelly, physical therapist and president of IRG Physical and Hand Therapy. And our guest, Dr. Wes Mitchell, orthopedic surgeon at Everett Bone and Joint.
Joining me today is Dr. Wes Mitchell, hand surgeon at Everett Bone and Joint, right there in Everett, Washington. Dr. Mitchell, tell me about thumb arthritis. I just was standing next to someone the other day, and they said, ouch. And I said, what's going on? They go, I got this arthritis at the base of my thumb. What's going on there?
All right, so thumb base arthritis is extremely common, unfortunately. It's the metacarpal bone that articulates with one of the wrist bones called the trapezium. That joint sees a lot of force, a lot of motion through everyday activities, including pinch and grip. And so over time, unfortunately, people have a little bit of arthritis and pain. You can treat this in a number of ways. So you can start with things like wearing a brace. Thumb braces are shown to be really helpful, especially to get your return to activities. They can basically move the thumb a little bit and hold it so that you don't put so much pressure through the joint. We can also talk about doing topical medicines like Voltaren is really helpful. Eventually, if the pain persists, we can try steroid injections. Some people get a lot of relief out of those. And eventually there are surgeries that we can go in and basically replace that joint, kind of like a hip or a knee replacement. So ultimately, it's extremely common. Not everyone's affected by it, even though it's very common to see on the x-rays. But that being said, it's one of the most common things I treat, and works conservative, and surgery works very well for it.
There you go. Everything you need to know about thumb arthritis. It can be treated. You can recover. You can return to activities pain-free. There are options. If you want to talk about options regarding hand injuries, you can contact Dr. Wes Mitchell at everettboneandjoint.com. That's everettboneandjoint.com.
With over 40 neighborhood clinics around Washington, IRG has you covered. Let IRG be your family's physical therapist. Find the location nearest you at irgpt.com. That's irgpt.com.
Dave Wyman here, and you've heard me talk about a local company for over a year now I really love working with. Harley Exteriors. You can expect a no-pressure consultation. They're great people to work with, and their windows are beautiful. I recently met with them, and I was excited to hear about the many Seattle sports listeners they've worked with. And now Harley Exteriors has stepped up with a can't-miss offer. Right now, get $450 off each new window, $1,000 off each patio or entry door, 12-month or 18-month no interest, no payment options, plus $200 off your final project total. If that isn't enough to get you started on a new project, I don't know what is. Schedule a consultation just like I did. Give them a call at 833-HARLEY, that's HARLEY, or go to harleyexteriors.com.
Minimum purchase of 4 windows required for window discount. Qualifying windows must be 36 by 36 or larger. No size minimum on patio or entry doors. Financing subject to credit approval. Cannot be combined with other offers outside this promotion. Offer valid through May 31st.
Hey there, Dawn Riling from Olympic Hot Tub. Time to celebrate spring and warmer days ahead. Get ready by adding a hot tub, swim spa, or sauna at home to take better care of you and your family. For nearly 50 years, Olympic has been offering products to help people live better. During our Soak, Sauna, and Swim event, find your perfect wellness solution and save thousands through May 10th. OlympicHotTub.com. Better you, better life.
Olympic Hot Tub. Mariners and White Sox this afternoon in Chicago. First pitch at 4:40, pregame at 3:30. Listen live for free on the Seattle Sports app.
The idea of push-starting a boat just doesn't seem right to us here at Pacific Power Batteries. A marine battery should just plain work every time. Let us help you with selecting the right type of marine battery. Deep cycle, starting battery, AGM, or even lithium battery. You can start with our helpful hints on our website or just stop by and talk with us. Don't worry, you don't need to be a Marine to buy a battery from us. Get it? Marine batteries? Pacific Power Batteries. Come into a business with a soul.
Your old furnace ain't nice, and your toes are like ice. DayandNight.net. This month, Day and Night gives you a free furnace with the installation of an AC or heat pump.
If you're not sure your furnace will make it through another winter, call us to install a proper, long-lasting, efficient heating system backed by our lifetime workmanship guarantee, so you won't be left out in the cold.
Install an AC or heat pump and get a free furnace from Day and Night Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electric. DayandNight.net.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to Markdowns for Miles at AutoZone.
Thanks. Is oil marked down?
Save up to $15 when you buy 5 quarts and a filter.
And fuel treatment?
2 for $9 on Lucas.
Brake pads?
Marked down to free.
Free?
Get free Duralast brake pads when you buy 2 Duralast rotors.
That's several markdowns.
For many more miles.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Tired of hearing scary radio ads about the IRS? Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000 or $500,000, we have a solution. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS with zero risk to you. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with a BBB. End your tax nightmare today by visiting TRA.com or call 800-583-6681. That's 800-583-6681.
Around the Diamond is sponsored by Klein Jewelers.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, you're listening to Bump and Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
All right, we are getting back to the Mariners in 15 minutes, bringing on ESPN's David Schoenfield. A couple questions, not just about this series, but about how they can even up their performance and start being a little more consistent. Before we get to it, I want to get back to the signing of Dante Fowler Jr. We heard a bit more about him from Isaiah Stanback, who was on with Brock and Salk, right, Curtis? And
Wyman
and Bob, excuse me. On with Wyman and Bob, so full interview on the Wyman and Bob podcast. I wanted to frame this as kind of the positives and the drawback about Dante Fowler. So we'll start with the overall kind of positive thing about signing Dante.
The one thing about Dante Fowler Jr., he could be an absolute nemesis on the field, but it's a consistency factor. And I don't think that consistency has anything to do with his abilities. I think it more so has everything to do with his willingness in the situation that he's currently in. So the only person that's in control of that is him.
So he performs well when he likes the situation he's in. We'll focus on the bad part of that in a minute. He performs well when he likes the situation he's in. Why would you not like the situation here in Seattle?
You would think you're coming to a defense that is innovative in ways, that was dominant last year. You're going to play for a young head coach who is energetic, nerdy, confident at the same time. Like I've heard Mike McDonald described in so many different ways. And you're coming to an organization that I think treats its players fairly. It's a cutthroat business. If you ain't good, you're going to get cut. Mm-hmm. But if you're one of the guys, you'll be good. So, yeah, I would be excited to come here if I was playing offense, defense, special teams, whatever, because all three phases have been good.
I was on a podcast yesterday, Seattle Sports Union, and they had a lot of questions about Dante. And one of them was, like, is he a true replacement for Boye Mafe? Before I keep it moving, I wanted to ask you that because I told them.
What'd you say?
I said, well, my co-host is our analyst, and he's watching film. Frankly, so like I know about football. I know plenty enough to be a reporter and a host, but usually I leave like the true kind of like what do you see from this guy scouting type takes to someone who's played and my colleague. So given that, I'm actually going to ask you right now so that because I think a lot of other people have that question too.
I want to know what you said though. Like what was your scouting report?
I said what you said. I said like look. I don't pretend to be a scout, but what I do know is Dante Fowler, older veteran, 31 years old, clearly there's enough talent there as a former number 3 overall pick, but there is a difference in athletic upside between someone who is 31 years old and whatever edge rusher they would have been able to take, let's say if they took one at the end of the first round or, traded higher in the second or something like that. However, a veteran is going to be a smarter player, and he's not going to make as many mistakes.
Right, I agree.
Yeah.
I think that he is solid. I think the film that I watched, he is where he's supposed to be. You can tell he's been in the league for a while. His technique is on point. He doesn't seem out of his frame. And a lot of things, too, when you watch film of these guys is are they confused, right? Is the flow of the game too much for him? And a 10, 11-year vet, the game is definitely not too fast for him. So, yeah, he's not a Boye Mafe. Boye is younger. He's quicker, probably just as strong as Fowler. But with Fowler, I think you know what you're going to get. Whereas a Boye Mafe, because he's still developing, there's some things that are going to get him.
Okay, I wanted to go to this one, too. There was part of that cut that initially kind of perked my ears, and it's where he talks about the effort not always being there. So let's dive into that a little bit more.
In my humble opinion, is somebody who could turn it on or turn it off. And I think the time that I had opportunity to see him up close and personal during his career was his time here in Dallas. That was coming off of, a relatively respectable year. He was coming off of, 4.5 sacks with the Falcons. And then he came over to Dallas for a handful of years. He went, 6 sacks, 4 sacks. And then he went back to Washington, did 10.5. Right? Went 10.5 sacks, went crazy, and then came back to Dallas and only did 3. So, as somebody who has been inconsistent as of late, seemingly his environment and his willingness really are the 2 contributing factors to his productivity on the field.
It's not like a critique per se of the signing. It doesn't sound like the most glowing praise ever about Dante Fowler, though.
Yeah. Here's the thing, too. And obviously, Isaiah is with the Cowboys organization. He's watched more film than I have on Fowler, so you take what he says. But I also think that as you get older in this league, too, when to take plays off. Like, there's nobody in this league, unless you're playing, like, interior, like defensive linemen, interior defensive linemen, linebackers, they got to go because there's bodies on them right now. If you're on the backside of a play and you're an edge rusher, all right, I've done my job. I'm gassed these past 5 plays. I'm gonna take care of the edge, but I might not chase that guy down. I've seen him do that though. I'm just trying to give a different perspective because even as a receiver, if I'm on the right side and we know we're throwing a screen to the left side, all right, me and the DB are gonna take that play off at times.
We both recognize this is just
I just put hands on him.
It's
like, all right, man, he's down. We're good. It happens, it shouldn't happen a lot.
Yeah.
But there's gonna be 2 or 3 plays where you're just like, I'm gassed.
What are the things where you have to have constant effort where you would judge a lack of effort from someone?
Any play that's to your side. If there's a run play to your side, there's a pass play to your side. Yeah. But there are plays where you're on the backside. You are far to the right. They're running a screen to the left. You fire off the football. The play gets blown up, and you're like, all right, we're chilling this play. It happens.
Is Dante Fowler a guy with the kind of upside or talent that would make any questions about effort worth it? Because to Isaiah's point, he's coming to a very good team where there's a good environment here.
Well, yeah, let's talk about the environment with the Cowboys. It doesn't feel like that is a healthy environment over there.
I, too, would want to take time off from the Cowboys.
It doesn't feel like you wake up in the morning so excited to work for Jerry Jones all the time. Now, they're professionals. They're going to go out there and do their job and max effort. But, even here at times, I bet there are days where you just don't feel like it. You're a human being. So in an environment like the Cowboys, I would assume players have more days like that than they would here.
Do you agree with this take from a listener? They said Fowler has much more nasty to him than Mafe and a better repertoire of moves.
I think Boye went hard. I think the nasty could be equal. I do think that he has more tricks up his sleeves, more things in the bag because he's played in this league for so long. I can see that for sure.
Let's go around the diamond. The Mariners start a 3-game series against the White Sox later today. This one a bit early. Pregame at 3:30 p.m. First pitch at 4:40 p.m. on Seattle Sports and the Seattle Sports app. That's Around the Diamond, brought to you by Klein Jewelers Edmonds. You're listening to Bump and Stacy on Seattle Sports and the Seattle Sports app. And we have a few more questions about the Mariners. So coming up next, we're going to bring on ESPN's David Schoenfield.
After the biggest series win so far this season.
You just beat the Braves, who had been the best team in baseball, and beat them 2 out of 3.
That shows a little resilience.
How about that, folks?
The Mariners hit the road, looking to build momentum.
This is an opportunity road trip for the Mariners.
And create some distance atop the AL West.
You're not far from sitting in first place because the rest of the teams, nobody's running away with it.
Mariners, White Sox, tonight. First pitch at 4:40. Pre-game at 3:30. Every pitch, every game, one app for free. The Seattle Sports app.
Mother's Day is more than just a date on the calendar. It's a chance to celebrate the women who shape our lives. The moms, the grandmas, the stepmoms, the ones who stepped in, and the ones who never stopped showing up. At Klein Jewelers, we believe every mom deserves something special, just as special as she is. Because mom deserves jewelry that lasts. Klein Jewelers is here to help you pick the perfect gift for all the mother figures in your life. From our family to yours, happy Mother's Day.
Coming to Emerald Queen Casino Event Center, Thursday night, June 18th, it's Jim Jeffries.
If you see like an old couple and you go, how long have you two been married for? And they go, 45 years. And then I always ask, what's your secret? The man goes like this, she's always right. And then you see him go dead behind the eyes.
Tickets at emeraldqueen.com. Global comedy heavyweight, Jim Jeffries, June 18th at Emerald Queen Casino, the entertainment capital of the Northwest. 21 and older, need gambling help, call 800-547-6133 or visit emeraldqueen.com.
It's a brave face we put on. We never want to be any trouble. But you know, getting older isn't all smiles and birthday parties. Sometimes it's facing the fact that we are aging. And you know what? That can be pretty hard. If you need a little support or just want to talk to someone, 988 is here for you. It's free and it's confidential. Call 988 anywhere, anytime. A message from the Washington State Department of Health.
This baseball season, Home Comfort Alliance is changing the game. John Curley here. Get the price of a new heating and AC system in just 60 seconds on your phone with no pressure, no waiting. Just a few questions and you get a winning personalized price. That's a home run. And if your system is over 12 years old, it could be costing you up to 20% more or could soon fail. Score a personalized price for a new system in 60 seconds at homecomfortalliance.com. Call the comfort people. Home Comfort Alliance.
Smalls here. What if you could enjoy the flavor of a cocktail without the alcohol? Meet RK Zero Proof, a pioneer in the alcohol-free spirits category that delivers bold taste and a warming sensation, but with zero alcohol, zero sugar, zero carbs, and zero calories. So you can celebrate with friends, unwind after a long day, and wake up tomorrow feeling great. It's all the ritual of a drink without the regret. Discover RK at rkbeverages.com. That's ARKAY beverages.com. RK, the spirit without the alcohol.
Rich Eisen here. PayPal is now the official peer-to-peer payments sponsor of the NFL, which means all the money moments that fandom creates, whether splitting tailgate costs or chipping in on tickets and game day food between friends, are covered. Wherever the game is played or watched, PayPal moves with fans. You can send money through text, email, or directly to your friends with eligible accounts on Venmo. Just download the PayPal app and share all the moments that matter. Account with PayPal is required. Not available in all regions where PayPal operates.
This might be the most surprising statistic I've shared in decades of doing local news. More than 75% of commuters will be involved in a car accident at some point. JP Pendergast of Pendergast Law with more.
What makes it more surprising? The average person will be involved in 3 to 4 collisions in their lifetime.
With accidents unbelievably prevalent, what are some safety tips if it happens to you?
Safety first. Secondary collisions are not uncommon while awaiting help. Turn on those hazards and remain in a safe place. If a bystander witnessed the accident, capture their information and encourage them to remain at the scene. Seek medical attention immediately if needed, as delaying can be a costly mistake. Lastly, remember that statements made to police and insurance adjusters can affect your case.
Collisions are more common than we'd like to think. If you find yourself in one, follow these helpful tips and then call my friends at Pendergast Law.
If you or a loved one's injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
PendergastLaw.com.
We just want to have enough money for retirement.
And travel to visit our grandchildren.
I understand. That's why at Fisher Investments, we start by getting to know each other, so I can learn about your family, lifestyle, goals and needs, allowing us to tailor your portfolio.
What about commission-based products?
We don't sell those. We're a fiduciary, obligated to act in your best interest.
So how do your management fees work?
We have a simple management fee based on the value of your portfolio, so we do better when you do better.
We appreciate that kind of transparency.
We also check in with you regularly to keep you up to date on the markets and your portfolio.
Well, what other services do you offer?
As a client, you have access to resources on investing, financial planning, estate planning, Social Security, Medicare, and more.
Wow, sounds like Fisher Investments has everything we need.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at FisherInvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything Seattle sports. Seattle Sports Snapshot.
Two bits of news breaking this morning from ESPN's Adam Schefter. First, finally, a date on the NFL schedule release, May 14th. There was speculation this could be pushed back to the third week of May, but instead it's a pretty standard release date after all. Again, May 14th, NFL regular season schedule. Secondly, the NFL will not have to go with replacement refs. The NFL and NFL Referees Association have reached a 7-year collective bargaining agreement that will run through the 2032 NFL season.
Snapshot, brought to you by Miller Lite. When it's game time, it's Miller time. From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Bump and Stacy
on Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app and at seattlesports.com.
Now, here are your hosts, Michael Bumpus and Stacy Ross.
Here we go now. ESPN's David Schoenfield joining us now on the Emerald Queen Casino Sportsbook Hotline. David, how's it going?
I'm good. How are things out in Seattle?
Much better after taking 2 of 3 from a very hot Braves team. This could have gone a very different direction. So I wanted to start by asking you just about the start to the season for Seattle. I think it's kind of true for everyone that it's been underwhelming so far. But how much of this do you see as, not lasting, and how much of it is genuinely concerning?
It's a good question. I would say I'm slightly concerned only because if you look at the last 2 years, take out the, 17 wins and 18 games in September, and they've mostly been a 500 team. So we got to factor that in. How legit was that one unbelievable hot streak last year, and how legit is this sort of mediocre start? It's early. The AL is weak. The division is weak. The Mariners still have, outside of the Yankees, I think the most talented team in the AL. So if you had to say on May 5th, are they going to make the playoffs? I'm still saying yes, but with some slight hesitation.
Yeah, it's weird over here because you see what this team can be. And when guys like Cole Young having the year that he's having so far, you get excited about it. But is it fair to expect Cole Young to continue this run? Because, you need guys like Julio and Cal to do their thing. But Cole Young gets me excited. Just what do you think of him, and do you think this is his play is sustainable?
Yeah, no, I think so. He's a young player, 22. He was a good prospect, first-round pick. So I think this is kind of what we expect. I actually think there might be more power. 3 home runs so far. I remember that 440-foot home run or something he hit last year. So, he's a young player, so he's still learning his swing. So I actually think there's more upside. I think the issue here is, and this isn't meant to offend Cole Young, but Cole Young should not be leading this team in RBIs, right? That's got to be Cal or Josh Naylor or Julio, and we get it. Those 3 guys all had terrible starts, and thank goodness that Cole Young has been Mr. Clutch, right? Because where would the offense be without him?
What's your level of concern, speaking of, for any of those 3 bats? Like, I started out not being overly worried about Julio at all because we see a slow start from Julio. So maybe I'm asking you more about Naylor and Cal at this point.
Yeah, no, yeah, for sure. Julio, yeah, I know. We'd love to see him get off to hitting in April like he does in July, August, and September, but, he's playing better. Cal is, it's frustrating because we all knew you can't expect 60 home runs. My prediction was 47, and I based that on some stat studies I did, and it just hasn't been there. And I haven't really read to see what he has said about his swing. I know early on I did a piece and looked through his at-bats, and he was missing a lot of fastballs, just, swinging through. And then B, hitting a lot of pop flies. So his timing's been off. It's correctable. I think he's still going to hit a lot of home runs, but, you can't have your best hitter hitting 175. That's just not going to cut it. So there's more in the tank, but it's time. It's getting to be the middle of May. You got to turn it around.
Seasons are all about adjustments and decision making. It feels like a decision is going to have to be made here pretty soon with Bryce Miller coming back. Castillo hasn't been playing his best ball. What would you do with that rotation?
Yeah, it's a really good question. And I did some homework for you guys because I care about doing a good job on this broadcast. So here's actually, the offense I'm actually not worried about. Nobody can hit in April in Seattle, right? It's just impossible. So I think the offense will come around. The rotation I'm actually a little concerned about, and here's why. Luis Castillo, so there's a stat called hard hit rate. And that's the percentage of balls you give up that are 95-plus miles per hour. So you want to hit them hard when you're hitting, and you don't want to give them up hard when you're pitching. Well, Luis Castillo, he's in the 7th percentile. 100th percentile is great, so he's near the bottom. Compare that to his peak. When he first came over here in 2022, he was above average. So, and this goes back to last year, he was in the 8th percentile. So when he gives up contact, it's hard contact. But Logan Gilbert last year, 40th percentile. This year, 9th. Brian Wu, I know maybe this is just the two bad starts. Last year, 40th percentile. This year, 15th. And he's been going downhill each year as a rookie. He was 83rd percentile. Now, part of that is the Mariners, their philosophy. We're not going to walk guys. We'll sacrifice giving up some home runs, giving up some hard contact. We're not going to walk anybody. So I'm not criticizing that approach, but it's just something that I'm a little worried about, that these pitchers are giving up a lot of hard contact. So to answer your question, yeah, I think Bryce Miller, if he's healthy and looking good, I think he goes in the rotation, and I think you got to put Castillo in the long relief role. It's tough because I know he's a trusted veteran. He's a respected veteran. He's done the job for a lot of years, but he's not one of your 5 best starters right now.
I know that there are some non-answers to how to fix it, and then there are many that are like a multifaceted solution. So I know there's many answers to this, but is the best way to approach giving up more hard contact from several of your starters to change the way they do things, or to turn to your offense?
Yeah, I mean, look, these guys know a lot more than I do, and certainly in Seattle with a big park and it's hard to hit home runs, certainly that pitching philosophy makes sense. Like you don't want to give up walks and make them 2-run homers. We'll give up some solo homers, but we don't want them to be 2-run homers. And we've seen it work for a lot of years, but, like Brian Wu, and I don't know what happened in those 2 starts, but we know he's 70% fastballs, right? Between his 4-seamer and sinker. So I don't know if the league his last start obviously was great. Is the league just figuring him out and he has to throw more off-speed stuff, which might mean walking a few batters? So it's all what you're comfortable with doing as a pitcher and a philosophy as a pitching staff. But, yeah, in the end, for this team to improve, you got to score runs. I mean, they're 4th in runs. And I do think the offense will improve. Cal's going to be better. Josh Naylor's going to be better. Julio's going to be better. They'll get Donovan back, So I think the offense again, I'm not as worried. And believe it or not, I still remain a little more worried about the rotation.
One of the hardest things we have to do is come on air every day and react to what we see from the Mariners, and realizing that you got a lot of baseball left to play. So we're a bit emotional over here. When it's bad, it's bad. When it's good, it's great. But I'm in a weird spot with these Mariners now because I don't really understand who they are at this point. I know their pitching is good, even though some guys have struggled. I know their lineup could be good, even though guys have struggled. Who are the Mariners to you at this point, and what needs to happen for them to reach their full potential?
Yeah, Michael, welcome to the world of expectations, right? World
Right.
Series or bust. Yeah, it's a good question. I mean, I think when they were so good last year down the stretch and in the playoffs, obviously they're doing everything. But, they were pitching, they were hitting, the bullpen was great. But let's be honest here. Cal Raleigh last year was, to use the famous Reggie Jackson quote, he was the straw that stirred the drink, right? He was the guy. And, I think to a certain extent, everybody fed off that, right? So when your superstar is struggling, there's just that ripple effect, whether he's not getting on base, he's not driving in runs, he's not hitting the home runs. So, yeah, it's not fair to put it all on one guy because that's not how baseball works. But Cal Raleigh, he was the guy last year, and they kind of need him to step up at this point.
Sometimes what helps me is knowing that other people are in trouble. So it's about Houston, what Houston's problem is, and it's not even about the rest of the division. But like you said, the Yankees have kind of pulled ahead of everyone in the American League.
Yep.
In New York, in the Bronx, what are they worried about when it comes to their team, who have looked so good to start the year?
Yankees, not a whole lot. Little problems at the infield. They have some problems at third base. Shortstop, actually, you might remember Jose Caballero, the ex-Mariner.
Yeah.
He's actually having a really nice year. He's taken over that position. Anthony Volpe was supposed to be, the next Derek Jeter. And he had off-season elbow surgery, so was on the IL. But he came back, and they sent him down to the minors. Can Caballero keep it going? Jazz Chisholm got off to a slow start. But frankly, not a lot of concerns with the Yankees. I look up Aaron Judge has like 14 home runs, OPS over 1,000. And he hasn't really even had a hot streak yet. That's a little scary. But the Astros, yeah, they're done. I have a boss at work who's a huge Astros fan and watches every game. And I was in the office yesterday, and he's like, blow it up, trade everybody, including Jordan. So can you imagine that if Jordan becomes available at the trade deadline? That would be interesting. So, yeah, the Astros, it was a great run, but it's over.
It's weird hearing you talk about the Astros like that. It's like watching the Golden State Warriors kind of just fade off into darkness. It's weird. Tell me about the A's, though, man. I mean, obviously they're leading the division. No one in the division is playing great ball right now. But before the season started, I had a few people I spoke to who were excited about the possibilities. They're a young, athletic team.
Yep.
They are leading the division. What's the progress report card with them?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of been interesting because you went in the year and you're like, oh, this is a great offense with Nick Kurtz and company. Can they get any pitching? And really, their pitching is really fully decent, and their offense has been okay, but not great. So kind of a similar situation to the Mariners. We know that offense will be better. The pitching, I don't know. I'm not really buying it. Jeffrey Springs has been okay. Severino's been okay, but not a lot of depth there. The bullpen has been, again, okay, but no depth at all. I don't quite buy the A's, even though I think that offense will, again, Mariners don't really take a 385, right? Anybody in 8 games. Yeah.
Which we know virtue of leaving them out of this conversation entirely. I'm less worried about the Mariners being able to win their division and more curious about who from the American League can actually take on the Dodgers because, maybe far be it for me to talk about getting to a World Series with the Mariners being so inconsistent, but I'm going to do it anyways because I want to get into some hypotheticals here. I don't like the defeatist take of, well, the Dodgers are going to win anyways. They're this, huge payroll team full of all-stars and future Hall of Famers, and they are. Like, that's a fact. but it's such a bummer way to enter into the postseason and to be talking about your team when it's finally a contender. So are the Mariners one of the teams that could gone?
Yeah, it's funny. We actually have ESPN today in the down one of our writers with the teams. And look, the Dodgers, they're beatable. I mean, look, Mookie Betts, he's older and he's hurt right now. Freddie Freeman is older. He's not off to a great start. Teoscar Hernandez, he's older. He's really struggling. So, like, those have been three of their key guys. And if you're not really sure what you're going to get, from them, and you don't talk to them, maybe they're pitching not real tiny threes. It's just our hitting stuff, asking you mother perhaps. So, usually thinking being Mariners, to me, they sex town roster. They got we saw him do two home runs, and they got some injuries. But the Blue Jays, if they get healthy, those are the three teams to me: Yankees, Mariners, and Blue Jays.
Who's a player that you've enjoyed watching the most this year? Not like a common name like Judge or anything like that. Just someone that, the casual baseball fan should take a look at.
Yeah, hate to go back to the Yankees, but the one pitcher I've been watching is Cam Schlittler. Got to say that carefully. Came up last year. This guy was not a big prospect, like 8th round pick. He's throwing like 89 in college. Now he throws 99. Just basically throws 3 fastballs, 4-seamer, sinker, and a cutter. Throws that like 80-90% of the time, and he makes it work. Did he pitch against the Mariners? I can't remember.
We did see him, yeah.
But he looks like the Cy Young favorite. So he's a guy that's, to me, become kind of a must-watch. With Terry Skubal out and Garrett Crochet out, he might be the top pitcher in the American League right now.
He is ESPN's David Schoenfield, kind enough to join us to talk Mariners and take a look around baseball. Thanks, David.
Thanks, David.
All right, anytime.
Have a good one. Let's get to headline rewrites.
Extra, extra, real Headline rewrites.
We must make headlines.
The real story behind the headlines in today's news.
Powered by Bay Alarm Security Services.
With Bump and Stacy.
Headline number 1, ESPN Seth Wickersham writes, the Seahawks sale is drawing softer than expected interest, but should still eclipse a $9 billion price tag. What's the real headline?
Did we eat too many rich people? It's obviously a play on Eat the Rich. And I fear that I actually like how Brian Nemhauser summarized it. He was like, well, it's already a tiny pool of people to begin with.
Yeah.
So it's, you know what I mean? There's limited number of players here.
I'm not worried about how many people are bidding. Just get the right person, the right fit for John, for McDonald, for the Northwest that's going to invest in VMAC, all that good stuff, man. So, no, that's fine. I'm not worried about it.
What are the qualities to you of a really good NFL owner?
Owner that stays out the way, one. Let the coaches coach, let the scouts scout, and is just supportive, right? What does this team need? And you're not trying to keep up with everyone in the league. Like, you're trying to lead. You're trying to be in charge of this whole thing just by leading by example. So keeping up with technology, investing financially into your players, the facilities, whatever these guys need to take care of their bodies and their mental, to support them.
I totally agree. Like a player, it's hard to find someone who has a lot of power and a lot of say and is willing to give up control. And I think that you get people like Jerry Jones badly wants to win. That's a quality that I would want in an owner. Because he badly wants to win, he meddles way too much. And because he's used to being in control, he meddles way too much. And those are hard things to drop. So it's like, all right, well, they don't have to be either or. But to find someone who badly wants to win and is willing to give up that control to the people that know how to do it. And to step in when there's a problem to solve. Like, it's tough, man. It really is.
Great leaders are great delegators.
Yeah.
Find people you can trust.
What's next?
Headline rewrites.
Headline number 2, the Huskies announced that they will be playing back-to-back Friday night games on October 9th at home against Iowa and then on October 16th on the road against Purdue. What's the real headline?
How is this TV deal any better than what they had in the Pac-12? This still feels like the exact same situation.
Pac-12 after dark. Remember those days? Be up till 1 o'clock in the morning covering these teams. But yeah, what is the difference? I don't understand it. And you get what you get.
Well, and these games are going to be going up against playoff baseball, presumably. So you're going to have a very limited national TV audience those nights.
And I understand we might be being a bit nitpicky. We're talking about 2 games, but
that's a sixth of your schedule.
Exactly. And there's so much of a was this really necessary feeling that we constantly all have, all 3 of us from former Pac-12 schools, about conference realignment. And look, I'll admit, as a Husky, I could acknowledge that while the failing of the Pac-12 was not like just because of the Huskies, it was like a nail in the coffin with Washington and Oregon. Like there was no saving it at that point. And Oregon's fine. Oregon will be fine. But like, did Washington's situation get significantly better? Financially, yeah. Yeah. But like, you're not at the
financially for themselves, yes, but in comparison to the rest of the Big Ten,
right, exactly.
Not so much because they're taking a partial share.
A partial share, which will eventually become bigger, but you're also not the top dog. You're not close to being the top dog. So you're still in just a sticky situation.
Headline rewrites.
Headline number 3, ESPN's Adam Schefter reports the NFL schedule will be released on Thursday, May 14th. What's the real headline?
We're calling this the schedule release, about the schedule release.
I like it. Let's see where we're headed this year, and that gives us more to talk about. The NFL does a great job with their offseason, gassing everything up, making it a big deal. But no, this gives you some clarity, and then you said it the first time around that you'd like to look at it and see where the tough stretches are going to be in the schedule. I think a lot of us like to do that. Last year, I was looking at the stretch between like Minnesota, Atlanta, like towards the end of the last third of the season. I thought it was going to be pretty tough, and you know what? Apparently it wasn't, because they won every single game after that loss to the Rams.
All of us are expecting the Bears to be, our prediction is the Bears will be the week 1 opponent here Wednesday night at home. Other opponents are obviously your NFC West foes. And then you are taking on the NFC East, so Cowboys, Giants, Eagles, Commanders. And then you've also got 1 seeds, Broncos, Raiders are on your schedule, Panthers, Chiefs, Patriots, obviously. Is there a stretch of opponents, knowing what at least lies ahead, where you're like, man, like I'd hate to see the Rams, who I think will be your toughest opponent, too close together.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to see a stretch where it's like, and I don't think the NFL would do that because they know these 2 teams are, there's going to be a primetime game against the Rams. And then they're going to have one late in the season. That's what I'm guessing. Early match, late match. I think I prefer that.
That's the way it should be, at least.
Yeah.
No, last year, didn't they have a stretch where they played
in 4 weeks,
the Cardinals? Pretty close. Yeah. The Cardinals are pretty close. The Rams are pretty close.
I don't like that quick turnaround. And I don't like it for our game shows.
No. I mean, I don't, me either, because somehow I always get fleeced and treated unfairly during those game shows.
You guys know how hard it is. You don't.
There's about 4 times a year where we're like, wow. Even the Texans would be like, wow.
That's not
wow.
I recall you got off to a 4-0 start this year.
I did. No one's talking about that, Curtis.
But,
no one's talking about that.
The final standings did not show.
You kept it really close.
You're supposed to win those, Curtis, all right? Supposed to win those.
I do unfortunately have a video saved on my phone of me asking you. It was about teams with different starting quarterbacks since week 1, and I just straight up forgot whole teams. Like I didn't have the Ravens on that list.
A couple times. It's all fun, though. It's all fun.
I think there are so many good questions, though. I think the good of those quizzes in our preparation for those games outweigh the bad. And the reason we're even talking about it is that in general, I don't like it when schedules have divisional opponents within like the same month. I don't like it. A span of 3 weeks facing the same team twice. Not for me.
Yeah. No, I agree with that.
Yeah.
I agree.
So, and I always think it's great, evenly spaced out, home and away. Either get the road games out of the way, clumped together early, or a nice back and forth. That's also something I look for.
You should send in suggestions to the NFL, the schedule makers.
And it's all around my schedule. Yep. And just what works for me.
This will work for me.
God, I have a hair appointment on this Thursday, so let's not do a night game. No prime time. And you know what? They're all 10 a.m. starts because I love a brunch. Still to come, we're going to talk with Boston Globe's Gary Washburn about potentially the new Seahawks owner. Find out a bit more. We have a lot of questions about what that reign could look like and how serious the bid could be as some of these potential buyers of the Seattle Seahawks are starting to take shape, and we're starting to get actual names attached. What I need to know coming up at 1:45, get your questions in, 866-979-3776, and taking a look around the NFL next.
Blue 88 every morning at 7:45. Brock Eward tackles 3 football questions as only he can.
Dante Fowler Jr. is the newest Seahawk. How important is it to get him signed today?
I think that's really important because the boys are starting to come back into town. He's going to know the scheme. He's going to know the stunts. He's going to know all those things. And then with a veteran player, to make sure you know what you're dealing with. You know, where that body is a dozen years into this league.
Catch every Blue 88 on the Seattle Sports app.
What's up, Bump here, letting you know we got some big events coming up at Silver Reef. We got Crazy Train, an Aussie tribute to the Prince of Darkness. Headlines Saturday, July 25th. You also got Howie Mandel, a famous comedian, coming to Silver Reef on Friday, October 9th. Tickets sold out fast last time, so make sure you get your tickets before they sell out again. But you don't have to wait until July or October to check out Silver Reef Casino Resort. Book a tea time at Loomis Trails Golf Course. Spend the weekend up there. It's beautiful. The course is in great shape. You can relax in deluxe rooms and enjoy a meal at the steakhouse, or you can watch the game and have some fun at the sports restaurant at the Cantina, authentic Mexican restaurant. Burritos are on point. Plenty of reasons to go up there, and I haven't even mentioned the spa yet. You can book your stay at silverreefcasino.com. I love it there. It's an easy drive. It's well worth the trip, and they have some of the cheapest gas on the west side, so your wallet will not hate you at all. All you got to do is hop on I-5, exit 260, Silver Reef Casino Resort, silverreefcasino.com.
70 and sunny this week, so get out on the water with ARC, the 100% electric boat. They're doing demos on Lake Union, Lake Washington, and Lake Sammamish. Book one and see what they're all about. I got to ride in the brand new ARC Sport, and it was unlike anything I've experienced. Think of a luxury EV on water, quiet, powerful, easy to operate, heated seats and seat backs, a large touchscreen display. Schedule your demo at arcboats.com/demo. If you can't make it to Kirkland, they'll pick you up. arcboats.com/demo.
Dave Wyman here with an interesting story. A woman was about to donate a box of jewelry, but her friend told her, take it to Bellevue Rare Coins first. She walked out with a check that far exceeded her expectations. Old jewelry, coin collections, gold watches, necklaces, and pendants. It's worth finding out what those items are worth during such a strong market. Before you give anything away, get it checked out at Bellevue Rare Coins in Bellevue, Linwood, Issaquah, and Tacoma. Go to BellevueRareCoins.com.
The wait is over. A new Old Navy is now open at Cordata Center in Bellingham. Come by for all things fabulous, like our famous jeans and best-selling activewear. Plus, jaw-dropping deals like dresses and tees starting at just $10. Only at Old Navy, valid through 5/12, select styles only.
When you want your grocery run to go further, there's Chef Store. Find food and supplies in sizes that cut down on extra trips and keep kitchens of any size stocked and ready. Open to the public, no membership required. Discover big savings at your local Chef Store today.
For over 50 years, Bucky's Complete Auto Repair has been the one locals trust for honest pricing, expert service, and guaranteed repairs. This dedication has earned them a Carfax Preferred designation. At Bucky's, every customer gets detailed Carfax updates, timely service reminders, and a full service history all at your fingertips. With 16 family-owned locations, no appointment needed, and easy financing, Bucky's makes auto care simple. Visit Bucky's.com today and drive with confidence. Bucky's.com.
We've all been there. Sleepless nights, mind racing, wondering if your business's security service is really protecting what matters. At Bay Alarm, we can put your security insecurities to bed. Video security, burglar alarms, fire alarms, access control, 24/7 monitoring, and more. Our advanced technology and personalized support ensure you can rest easy, knowing we're here for you, your people, and your business. Visit bayalarm.com to talk to a local security expert. Bay Alarm, we got you.
Hey. Mariners and White Sox this afternoon in Chicago. First pitch at 4:40, pregame at 3:30. Listen live for free on the Seattle Sports app.
Coming to Emerald Queen Casino Event Center, Thursday night, June 18th, it's Jim Jeffries.
If you see like an old couple and you go, how long have you two been married for? And they go, 45 years. And then I always ask, what's your secret? The man goes like this, she's always right. And then you see him go dead behind the eyes.
Tickets at emeraldqueen.com. Global comedy heavyweight, Jim Jeffries, June 18th at Emerald Queen Casino, the entertainment capital of the Northwest. 21 and older, need gambling help, call 800-547-6133 or visit emeraldqueen.com.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Ask yourself this question. Is it really worth holding on to that timeshare that you know you need to get rid of?
Here's the truth. The average maintenance fee just went up over 17%. That could have been 117%, and there's nothing you can do about it. When you buy a timeshare, you give them a blank check for annual maintenance and assessment fees. I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group. For 15 years, I've helped over 50,000 families cancel their timeshare. Not sell it, not transfer it, cancel it. Did you buy a timeshare because they told you it was a great investment and your maintenance fees would never go up? That's a lie. Are you ready to get rid of your timeshare once and for all? Simply call us and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit that explains all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your timeshare exit kit. 800-881-4300. 800-881-4300. 800-881-4300.
Hi, Chef John Howie here. At Sea Star Restaurant and Raw Bar in Bellevue, we've been serving the East Side for more than 24 years. We love serving our guests and creating wonderful memories. We also love serving the community, from local schools to amazing organizations like Hope Link, the American Cancer Society, Bellevue LifeSpring, and so many more. I want to thank you, our guests, for supporting Sea Star all these years, making it possible for us to serve and help those in need. Thank you. SeastarRestaurant.com.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Bump and Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Some breaking news this morning from ESPN's Adam Schefter. The NFL and NFL Referees Association have officially reached an agreement on a new CBA. No replacement refs in 2026. It's a 7-year deal that runs through the 2032 season. Here's what it actually means for both sides. Refs are getting significant raises.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Part of what they wanted, check. You get a lot more money. The NFL is getting a little more power, and here's what it looks like. From ESPN, the NFL tied all the negotiations into a bunch of initiatives for improving officiating. So they get increased access to officials in the offseason for a formal training program, and that's going to happen in mini camps, training camps, and in joint practices. So we get more access to your time to require more training. The NFL is also going to have a bench of officials, I guess, for backups, maybe some guys who've been out there, and is going to be able to use performance metrics for postseason assignments rather than just seniority. So think of it as the NFL gets more power over how refs are rewarded.
I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and performance-based. That's the problem with MLB. Because you got some garbage umps there and seniority and the union and all that good stuff allow these guys to keep their jobs when, no, it should be performance-based. Just like the athletes on the field. If you're not doing your job, you will be replaced. So I'm with that. And I love that they are spending more time with them, right? Training them, getting them ready for these situations. Football has to be one of the hardest sports to referee because there's so many different rules, so much going on at one time. Yeah, you got to invest in these guys.
Yeah, this is one of those things where you just agree with what each side got. Absolutely agree with the refs getting more money. But you also agree with the NFL getting a little more power. Like, you should get postseason assignments based on performance.
Yeah.
It shouldn't just be based on, like, oh, you've been doing this for so long. Get the best crews in the postseason.
Yes.
So we got that news this morning. We also got news of the schedule release on May 14th. And by the way, the NFL's full international schedule, 9 games, is going to be released the day before, May 13th at 6 a.m. Pacific. That means Michael Bumpus could find out if he's going to London or Mexico City. There's a home game for the Commanders at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium in London. The Seahawks are playing the Commanders on the road. There's a home game for the 49ers in Mexico City. Seahawks obviously playing the 49ers on the road as well. So either of these two spots could be an international game for the Seattle Seahawks.
Come on now. Let's go. I want to go to, see, I'd rather go to London than Mexico because I was told if we go to Mexico, we got to stay in the hotel in Atlanta South.
What? In Mexico City?
Yeah, that's what I was told. So let's go to London.
Mexico, Stacey.
I know, but is it Mexico City's like one of the biggest cities in the world.
Yeah,
it's super.
It's dangerous.
It's like a bunch of great restaurants.
Little do they know, your boy
The number one seed out of the AFC that really no one was talking about nearly as much as other teams in the AFC.
Yeah, I mean, they went on a run. They won like 7, 8, 9
Defense
games
was
at one time. You got your quarterback. I think it's all about the relationship between Bo Nix and Peyton. I think that's good. You mentioned the defense. They're going to be solid. Oh, we'll see. If Bo Nix plays, I think we get a rematch in the Super Bowl between the Broncos and the Seahawks.
I want to ask you about your expectations for another team. This time we're going to the NFC North. Former 49ers wide receiver Juwan Jennings is signing with the Vikings on a 1-year, $13 million deal. So another receiver there for new quarterback Kyler Murray. A good defense, great defensive coordinator, one of the best receivers in all of football in Justin Jefferson, good tight end, great coach and play caller. But what are they going to do?
On paper, they look good. On paper, this team should be competing for the division, even though, man, the Bears are going to be better. Detroit looks good. That's a tough division, man, that NFC North, man. But listen, you got weapons. There's no excuse for Kyler Murray. You got weapons, and you have the quarterback whisperer over there. If O'Connell's not able to get Kyler Murray right, no one's going to be able to do it, and he'll just be a backup. But this is, I wouldn't say this is his last shot, but he's got to go out there. He only signed a 1-year deal, so he's got to prove it.
Cardinals rookie Carson Beck thinks learning his third offense in 3 years actually gives him a leg up in Arizona's quarterback competition.
I think the experience obviously helps in a multitude of ways when it comes to being on the field, when it comes to, picking up a playbook faster. Having to learn the Miami playbook, I think, kind of prepared me for this a little bit. Obviously, Georgia was my kind of baseline knowledge. I was there for 5 years. I knew the playbook like the back of my hand. Obviously, I'm sure they've changed the lingo a little bit compared to what it was when I was there, but I mean, we could go back there and I could tell you every formation played, route concept, protection, even this point, 2 years out of it. So again, but the experience is nothing if there's no, application from the lessons that you've learned from the experiences. So again, if I can continue to apply the lessons I've learned from those experiences, I think it can help in a multitude of ways.
We talked about how, certainly in the NFL, going through different offensive coordinators and playbooks can be a hindrance. Can it be a benefit?
Yeah. Like you said, he played football for, 2 different squads? And listen, we talk about the language. Some of it's going to be the same. I mean, football is football. Some guys call things a bit differently, but once you connect the dots, you'll be fine. And quarterbacks are typically the sharper dudes on the team. I'm sure Carson Beck is, or he wouldn't be in this situation. So it can benefit him for sure. Now, when it comes to like your NFL career and playing, you would prefer to be with one coordinator so you can master that system. But I think he'll pick it up. Now it's about executing.
What I Need to Know is coming your way in an hour, so get those questions in. 866-979-3776. Sports, non-sports, doesn't matter. Text it now. You're listening to Bump and Stacy on Seattle Sports and the Seattle Sports app. Coming up, a Mariners roster move and a preview for a big road trip.
After the biggest series win so far this season.
You just beat the Braves, who had been the best team in baseball, and beat them 2 out of 3.
That shows a little resilience.
How about that, folks?
The Mariners hit the road, looking to build momentum.
This is an opportunity road trip for the Mariners.
And create some distance atop the AL West.
You're not far from sitting in first place, because the rest of the teams, nobody's running away with it.
Mariners, White Sox, tonight. First pitch at 4:40. Pre-game at 3:30. Every pitch, every game, one app for free. The Seattle Sports app.
Hey, Mike Salk here with Dr. Coogan from Eastside Weight Loss Clinic. And Doc, what do you say to people who are considering those GLP-1 injections for weight loss?
Before you start, ask yourself this. Are you prepared to spend $3,000 to $5,000 per year and stay on the medications long-term to maintain the results? Many prescription weight loss injections require weekly shots, and when the medication is stopped, weight gain is common. And most people don't realize research shows a significant portion of the weight lost can come from muscle, which may slow your metabolism and make keeping the weight off even harder.
From personal experience, I can tell you Eastside Weight Loss Clinic takes a different approach, a doctor-developed program helping people lose 20 to 30 pounds in just 60 days.
No injections, no synthetic hormones, no long-term dependence. Instead, we use real food to reset your metabolism, control hunger, and cravings naturally.
So come to their clinic in Kirkland or do the program from anywhere you live with easy remote options. If you want a safe, affordable alternative to weight loss injections,
go to eastsideweightlossclinic.com to keep the weight off for good.
Dr. Ryan Coogan, D.C. Results may vary.
Did you know in Washington State, you can see a physical therapist without a referral from your doctor? That's right. Thanks to Direct Access, you can skip the wait and get the care you need right away. Shannon O'Kelly, how has Direct Access changed the game?
Direct Access for us, Brock, is a game changer. Why? Is because there is so much research and data out there that says if you get in early when you have a musculoskeletal problem or an injury, the earlier you get in and we can start care, the better outcomes and the decreased downstream cost, okay? So it's so important. Our providers are all doctors of physical therapy. They're all trained to identify situations and problems. They've got the skill, they've got the talent, they've got the knowledge. If you get in and start therapy early, we're going to get you back to activity, pain-free, and moving and having fun.
Fast, easy, effective. Direct Access is your path to better movement, starting with a single step. Visit irgpt.com to schedule your appointment today. irgpt.com.
Meet Morgan Jones. Morgan is about to step into a world unknown to most, thanks to Progressive's Renters Insurance, a place of fresh linens and turn-down service. You see, Morgan temporarily vacated her apartment and has gone to a hotel because a pipe burst in her apartment. A pipe that made her sense of reality and apartment ceiling all come crashing down. Luckily, Morgan checked into Progressive's Protection Zone. Get a quote at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and third-party insurers.
Pump up the volume. Business moves fast. Orders roll in, deadlines close in. When you ship with USPS Ground Advantage, you can keep up with confidence. Every package stays in our secure network from dock to door. And with nationwide reach, dependable tracking, and upfront affordable pricing, you get built-in peace of mind. You run the business. We run the routes. Visit USPS.com/Ground Advantage to learn more.
5-Star Window Cleaning reminds parents the fatal crash rate for teens peaks at age 19, and we lose nearly 8 kids every day. Make a family agreement to never drive under the influence of alcohol or drugs, text behind the wheel, or ride with anyone who is. Always designate a sober driver, call a parent or ride share, and let's bring our children home safely. Best wishes to all our kids from the entire team at 5-Star Window Cleaning, the commercial and residential window and pressure washing expert since 2010. Online at 5star-windows.com.
Mariners and White Sox this afternoon in Chicago. First pitch at 4:40, pregame at 3:30. Listen live for free on the Seattle Sports app.
Windows are a home's top target for break-ins. At Lake Washington Windows and Doors, we offer added security with our exclusive 3-layer security glass protection. Combined with our lifetime warranty, you'll have lifetime peace of mind. Choose Lake Washington Windows and Doors, a name you can trust.
This Memorial Day, feel the freedom of lower energy bills. Lake Washington Windows and Doors is taking $525 off every window, plus $1,000 off every patio or entry door. Plus, enjoy 12 months free financing. LakeWashingtonWindows.com.
How many times have we heard lowest prices, best service ad nauseum? At Pacific Power Batteries, we know that good stuff isn't cheap, and neither are good, trained employees. But at Pacific Power Batteries, the phenomenal people can install your auto, boat, or RV battery for a nominal charge. We offer cash and carry pricing for you do-it-yourselfers. We'll leave the balloons, monkeys, and trumpets to the other guys. But either way, Pacific Power Batteries is a great place to buy batteries.
Wait! Before you change the station, listen to this.
CarsForKids.org. That's cars with a K. Pickup is quick and easy. You'll also get a vacation voucher and a tax deduction. 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS. K-A-R-S, Cars for Kids. 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS. Donate your car today. 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS. K-A-R-S, Cars for Kids. 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS. Donate your car today.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, you're listening to Bump and Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Someone that Curtis knows just became GM for the Dallas Mavericks.
Yeah, I went to college with him. Mike Schmitz.
Which is crazy because
I'm here and he's there.
That's what I'm saying. So I was saying, do you feel like you missed your window to be a professional GM, or do you think there's still time?
Don't they say like your life's only beginning at 40, right?
They
Like,
say
that's
that.
kind of your thing.
They
yeah.
do.
So
They do
Great news.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great news for Bump. Great
Yeah.
news for all of us.
I think that there's still time for you to become a GM.
Thanks,
There's
Stacey.
technically time for you to become a team owner. I mean, the Seahawks are
Right.
for sale. We have some questions about a potential purchaser coming up in less than 15 with Boston Globe's Gary Washburn. It's going to be about Wyc Grousbeck and kind of his tenure with the Celtics, what that looked like. Look, if he ends up being an owner for the Seattle Seahawks, we all want to know what how he moves as an owner and what it looks like. So that's coming up in 15. Before we get to that, Mariners roster move and a preview for a big road trip. As expected, Brendan Donovan has been reinstated from the 10-day IL. That was reported yesterday from Adam Jude, but it is official this afternoon. Johnny Pareda has been optioned to AAA Tacoma. Another move that obviously makes sense because Cal Raleigh is going to be catching today. First, I played it earlier, but let's get back to it. Jason Churchill on Wyman and Bob asked about the impact of Donovan's return.
Yeah, if he stays in the lineup and stays on the field at third base, he'll be absolutely fine at third base. I'm a big, believer in one guy in the lineup can have a larger effect than just that one guy over the player that was playing instead of him. So this isn't just Brendan Donovan replacing Leo Rivas in the lineup. You're lengthening the lineup now. You're asking players to be themselves a little more. And the effect of that one hitter, we talked about this last July. You get that one hitter in the lineup that you didn't have, it's going to have a bigger impact than just adding one guy who's more productive. And that happens more at the top of the lineup than it even does in the middle of the lineup sometimes.
Okay, so great news. Jason Churchill, as I'm sure you do, Bump, truly believes it can be an immediate impact, not necessarily just working your way in, but no, this is great news for Seattle.
No, it's great. You get just a pro is pro. There's something that Pareda, watching him, you could tell that, he's like a AAA kind of guy. It's the way they carry themselves and all that stuff. But with Donovan, he has just a resume. And not just, remember what was the guy that we got a couple of years ago? Turner? Is that his name? Redbeard?
Yeah, Justin Turner.
Yeah, Justin Turner. Right? Redbeard.
I called him Redbeard.
Yeah. When he joined the squad, he wasn't playing the best baseball, but he brought a knowledge, right? Remember when guys were going over to him, asking
No, it was
him,
massive.
hitting tips and all that good stuff. I would assume that Donovan probably doesn't bring as much as JT did, but he brings something like that to the table as well as his bat. So, no, it's always nice to get a pro back.
And why does it matter? Because the Mariners have a chance to build some momentum after taking a series from a team that has been the best in baseball, the Atlanta Braves, their first series loss of the year, by the way. Seattle is heading to Chicago to face the White Sox, heading to Houston to face a bad Astros team for a 4-game series. Jason Churchill asked whether or not momentum exists and if he thinks it'll carry over from the Braves series.
The one thing I do believe in is there's a human element here that we can't really, there's no data to check that. We have no way to quantify how guys are feeling, confidence. Are they up there, trying to do things they're not capable of? They're trying to be something that they aren't. And I think when you can win games and have some confidence and feel good about what's going on, you more often avoid players going out there and doing those things, trying to be something they're not. I think a lot of times we hear this, kind of described as pressing. We hear that term pressing. And I really think it's just players trying to be something they're not. I think when you can win a game or a series against a pretty good team like that hadn't lost the series all year, that human element is important. And even though we can't put a number beside it, I do think that matters. And I think at some point, a team that's better than they've performed so far, like this Mariners club, finds one of these series, and that is the turnaround point at some point.
Bump, you were nodding.
I disagree. I think that's just a good take. I think all right, that was nice. I was thinking about just the journey that this team has been on so far, right? Because you come into the season with a whole bunch of expectations, and it's a pressure that I don't think this organization's felt before. Yes, they went to the playoffs last year, and we try not to hype it up, but it's something. It's there. It's something that these guys have to deal with. And then you don't have the start to the season that you have. So I would assume at some point there's some doubt that creeps into athletes' head and the guys upstairs as well. Now, you believe that they're going to find a way to work through this because it's baseball. There's so many games to be played. But that doubt is still there. It was there for us, and I'm sure it's there for them as well. So now I'm thinking about just where they are now after beating a team that was probably one of the best, or is one of the best teams in baseball. Like, there's an opportunity here to just to put positive vibes back into this organization and into the minds of these players. It's something that every athlete deals with, and I think people take that for granted. I mean, they expect because you pay them X amount of dollars that execution is going to be automatic. That's not the way that this thing works. There's real emotions and ups and downs that these guys go through. So now there's an up. So I'm like, all right, now you're playing the White Sox, a team that we feel like you should handle. Here's a great opportunity for you to get doubt out of your head.
Yeah, look, I've obviously never played, but I've interviewed enough people on and off the record to know that mindset's like a very real thing. And I think is usually that kind of, I don't know the answer to this question, answer, right?
Mm-hmm.
What's going on with the defense sometimes? Concentration, mindset, right? Like in your head. What's going on with this hitter? He's healthy. In your head, you know, you're thinking, you're guessing, you're worried, you're whatever. Like, what's up with this team? They're supposed to be so good. Guys are surprised. Maybe like, you know, they're anxious, they're frustrated. It's like unless there's an obvious kind of look. Sometimes a great player is going to strike out because you're in a battle here. I like the way Salk explains is like. You have less control over truly like a battle between you and a pitcher. This is a two-man fight right now. Sometimes you're going to lose. Often you're going to lose. But that so it doesn't always have to be like, oh, striking out, what's wrong with them? But like a guy in a slump for a while who's healthy, sometimes that's mental. A team that is making defensive mistakes, sometimes that's mental. So I think momentum is very real for that reason, and I think it can do a lot, and I hope that they seize it here against two teams that, you know, while the White Sox aren't as atrocious this year as they were last year, and they both pack some pop, both teams ahead of the Mariners in home runs this year, there's real opportunity.
Baseball, because there's so many games, like it's a legit marathon, and physically, mentally, you're gonna feel it. You're gonna have your ups and your downs. I wish there was a way to get into the minds of like the top 10 best hitters in the game right now, right? And try to understand how they deal with their failure and what are their thoughts stepping into the box, because everyone here is talented, and obviously you have to be talented to hit the baseball and just play in the league in general. But the real separation is one's physical. Judge is a big dude. He can smash the ball.
Yeah, that's real.
But what's his mental training like for this marathon of 162? And I think the good teams have more players who can handle that. Obviously, they're talented as well. But the teams who aren't as talented got to find a way to mentally be able to handle it, because you can't just say, you know, Wyman says this all the time, you can't just play harder in baseball.
Yeah.
You can throw harder, I guess, when you're in the mountain, but it's such a mental game. When I talk to guys who've done things that I haven't done, whether it's business, athletically, one of my first questions is mentally, how do they handle some stuff? Because they're different. So, you know, this is part of growing here, and take this opportunity and get her done, Mariners.
This series starts today against the White Sox, 4:40 p.m. first pitch on Seattle Sports and the Seattle Sports app. Pre-game show starts at 3:30 p.m. Here's what's on deck for the final hour at 1:45. What I need to know. Get your questions in. Sports, non-sports, 866-979-3776. We got 4 football questions for Bump coming up at 1:15 for 4 Down Territory. And coming up next, let's learn a bit more about a potential Seahawks buyer.
After the biggest series win so far this season.
You just beat the Braves, who had been the best team in baseball, and beat them 2 out of 3.
That shows a little resilience.
How about that, folks?
The Mariners hit the road looking to build momentum.
This is an opportunity road trip for the Mariners.
And create some distance atop the AL West.
You're not far from sitting in first place, because the rest of the teams, nobody's running away with it.
Mariners, White Sox, tonight. First pitch at 4:40. Pre-game at 3:30. Every pitch, every game, one app for free. The Seattle Sports app.
They call this one Bill.
Whoa, aliens? Am I in a spaceship?
Affirmative, Bill.
What's with the laser saw?
Relax. We are cutting our bill in half.
What?
An Xfinity mobile transmission says you can cut your bill in half.
Oh, your mobile bill, not me, Bill.
Xfinity Mobile also says we can try it free for a year. Free.
Yes, with no commitment. Can we put the saw away?
I am reluctant. But we will find another being to bisect.
That's not sci-fi. It's Xfinity Mobile. Xfinity Internet members cut your mobile bill in half. Plus, try Xfinity Mobile free for a year. No commitment. Learn more at xfinitymobile.com. Xfinity. Imagine that. Restrictions apply. Xfinity Internet required. Savings compares one line of Xfinity Mobile Select to comparable plans from T-Mobile, Verizon, and AT&T as of 3/24/26. Taxes, fees, extra. $30 monthly discount limited to new mobile customers only. After 12 months, regular rates apply.
I really want to have the most amazing customer experience. I want people to be excited.
Lee Johnson Auto Family, the LJ way.
Hey everybody, it's Bob Selton here, and if you're somebody dealing with joint pain, this will be of interest to you. Wednesday, May 13th, Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, is having a free live webinar to talk about stem cell therapy.
I'm really looking forward to this live webinar to educate on how using your own stem cells can be an extremely successful method to help regenerate native tissue in rotator cuffs, meniscus tears, and reduce pain in osteoarthritic joints.
What joints have you seen good success with?
Shoulders, elbows, hips, knees, even wrists and ankles. And in this live webinar, we'll tell you all about the procedure, how simple and safe it is using your own stem cells, and how we determine if you're a candidate.
Learn about stem cell therapy with Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, one of the most experienced in the entire country with over 20,000 stem cell procedures. Join his free live stem cell webinar Wednesday, May 13th. You can register at drmarkwagnermd.com. That's drmarkwagnermd.com.
Your old furnace ain't nice, and your toes are like ice.
DayandNight.net.
This month, Day and Night gives you a free furnace with the installation of an AC or heat pump.
If you're not sure your furnace will make it through another winter, call us to install a proper, long-lasting, efficient heating system backed by our lifetime workmanship guarantee, so you won't be left out in the cold.
Install an AC or heat pump and get a free furnace from Day and Night Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electric.
DayandNight.net.
Get down with Casey and the Sunshine Band when they take the stage at Muckleshoot Casino Resort. Sunday, May 17th at 8 p.m. The iconic 70s group has toured around the world, and now they're bringing their blend of funk, disco, and R&B to Muckleshoot Casino Resort on May 17th. Get tickets now at muckleshootcasino.com.
On October 3rd, Snohomish PUD is hosting the first ever Community Energy Run at the Water Operations Center in Lake Stevens, located on the scenic Centennial Trail. It's a family-friendly 5K where every step supports the Community Energy Fund, helping local families keep the lights on when times get tough. Join the Community Energy Run on October 3rd. Learn more at snowpud.com/run.
The wait is over. A new Old Navy is now open at Cordata Center in Bellingham. Come by for all things fabulous, like our famous jeans and best-selling activewear. Plus, jaw-dropping deals like dresses and tees starting at just $10. Only at Old Navy, valid through 5/12, select styles only.
Pet owners and parents know the struggle. Every time dogs or kids go outside, they track mud right back in. If you're tired of scrubbing floors, you need Muddy Mat, the anti-mud mat that cleans paws and shoes before they ruin your home. Only Muddy Mat features thousands of ultra-soft microfibers that are 5 times more absorbent than ordinary mats, instantly trapping dirt and water to protect your floors. Put it by every door, under pet bowls, in the kitchen for spills. It even makes a perfect bath mat. And it's 100% machine washable, so cleanup is effortless.
Since getting Muddy Mat, I don't worry about what my dog gets into. His paws are clean the second he steps off.
No more mopping. I love it. Thank you, Muddy Mat. Right now, get a free medium Muddy Mat with your order of 2 or more mats at buymuddymat.com. This offer is only available at buymuddymat.com. That's BUYMUDDYMAT.com. Don't wait. Get your free Muddy Mat today at buymuddymat.com.
Let's go! This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything Seattle sports. Seattle Sports Snapshot.
The Mariners have officially reinstated Brendan Donovan from the IL. They're optioning catcher Johnny Pereda to Tacoma as the corresponding move there. Cal Raleigh expected to be catching today. Seattle opens up a series against the Chicago White Sox at 4:40 p.m. Pre-game show starts at 3:30 p.m. on Seattle Sports and the Seattle Sports app.
Snapshot, brought to you by Miller Lite. When it's game time, it's Miller time.
This hour is brought to you by Mazda of Everett.
from the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Bump and Stacy
on Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app and at seattlesports.com.
Now, here are your hosts, Michael Bumpus and Stacy Ross.
Here we go now. Portico reported Thursday that Wyc Grousbeck and Celtics investor Aditya Mittal are leading a bid to purchase the Seattle Seahawks. Naturally, us and a lot of listeners had some questions about Wyc and what he was like as an owner of the Celtics, what was going on there. So let's get those answered. Joining now is Boston Globe's Gary Washburn on the Emerald Queen Casino Sportsbook Hotline. Gary, how's it going?
Hey, guys, how's it going?
Good. I'm just going to start with probably a way too basic question, but was Wyc a good owner?
Oh, yeah. I mean, he was a very active owner, hands-on, supportive. And I'm not talking about hands-on, as I said earlier, in like telling the coach what plays to run or telling the general manager, this is the player you need to get on the roster, but just supportive in terms of being at every game, kind of being another big fan, another big supporter of the team. He was definitely an active owner. He was very visible. He was very approachable. And it was a good experience I've had with him over the last 16, 17 years. They bought the Celtics, I want to say in 2003. They won 2 championships, their group, and he sold a portion of his team a few months ago to Bill Chisholm. But I would overall say the Grousbeck era in Boston was a very successful one because when they bought the team in the early 2000s, the team was at a real low, was really suffering, and they were able to bring just the Celtics back to prosperity.
What makes, in your opinion, what makes a good owner, and has the recipe for successful ownership changed over the past decade or two?
Yeah, that's a good question. I mean, I think that obviously active owners, I think the person who kind of changed the tone for what an owner is Mark Cuban, where he was on the sideline or right behind the basket. He was yelling at refs, and he was kind of being that fan/owner, the owner that we all think we would probably be if we owned, paid $5 billion for something. We'd be the first one there, and we'd be active. And I think that Wyc kind of takes a page from that now. He's not yelling at officials or anything like that, but it was active, and the players knew him, and he related to the players, as opposed to an owner who maybe you don't see very often or it only comes up when something big happens. So I think a good owner in these kind of times is one that does get to know the players, that treats them as, people, humans, active in the community, gets to know, the city for which their team plays, and invest in that community. I think that's also important, to become one of the city. And I think Wyc Grousbeck was able to do that here in Boston. I said he's very visible. He's at every game. I've built a good relationship with him. He's approachable. And I know, obviously, in the owners, I covered the Sonics when it was Howard Schultz 20 years ago, and that wasn't always the case.
Being cheap as an owner really matters more in MLB and in the NBA. You feel it a little bit less in the NFL. But was he kind of the opposite? Like, is he, you know what I mean? Like, how was he in terms of trying to get the competitive edge by being willing to take financial risks?
Yeah, they gave the ownership group gave the general manager, whether it was Danny Ainge or Brad Stevens, enough resources to win. They wanted to win. Boston is a championship city in the sense of the fans here are not going to accept, there's no, division title banners. The fans here right now are extremely disappointed in getting ousted in the first round of the NBA playoffs, even though they just won the title 2 years ago. They're down on the Red Sox because the Red Sox have been struggling. They were very unhappy about the Patriots losing in the Super Bowl and the Bruins losing in the first round to Buffalo. So this is a team a city that expects titles. So you couldn't buy a team in Boston and not say we're after championships. And I think what the Grousbeck group did was provide. They hired Danny Ainge once upon a time. He hired Doc Rivers, and then they made the huge trade for Kevin Garnett, and they were able to sign Ray Allen and obviously acquire him from the Sonics way back in the day, and that kind of jumpstart their run. And so that was kind of, winning that 08 championship was their first one in 22 years. That revived the hope in Boston, in the Celtics, and it's continued since then, where they've made the playoffs every year since 2014. So I think the investment financially has been fruitful from the Grousbeck group this summer. They had to cut back some because of the constraints of the second apron. The NBA made it very hard to keep teams together and to spend a lot of money without, in some cases even having draft picks frozen and unable to have any flexibility. So you can't spend as much as you used to. So that was but that was also the new ownership group that took over. But the Grousbeck group has definitely poured money into the franchise.
Gary, being an LA guy, I respect Boston, but I do not feel bad for the troubles that the sports teams over there been going through, man. Been watching as growing up, the success that all those teams have had. It's all good. I want to ask you a question, just some kind of like gossip, low key. What's going on with Jaylen Brown, man? Is he misunderstood, or is he just your thoughts on that, on how he handled the loss and talking about Joel and Philly and all that stuff?
I mean, it's a good question. I mean, I think that's kind of indicative of a lot of the current athletes that we know, and current young people, that they tell all their business. They go on social media. They tell you everything they're doing. They tell you they had peach ice cream. They tell you everything. And I think Jaylen's just one of those young guys who wanted to vent, and he used his Twitch account to vent, and I don't blame him for saying, hey, if it was one of your favorite seasons because you were able to, help a team come back and win 56 games that the expectations were low, and you feel a certain way about the officiating, that's fine. But timing is always important too. And less than 24 hours after you get ousted in Game 7, to kind of, moan about the officiating and tell everybody how much of a fun season it was, fans aren't trying to hear that in Boston. Fans are still reeling from that. And so I think that although his honesty is admired, it might be the timing wasn't great, and I think that happens a lot in professional sports.
What are people saying in NBA circles about expansion? Like, I want to know kind of whether they think it's a bad idea or good idea, and then how real they think it is, because there's still a lot of people here that just are hesitant to buy in or believe.
Yeah, I understand that. I was there for the trial in 2008 when the team, settled, the city settled, and the team moved to Oklahoma City. I think the NBA regrets leaving Seattle. I think that was one of former Commissioner David Stern's biggest mistakes, and I think he understood that eventually. I think his ego got involved with going to the state legislature once upon a time and kind of being laughed out of that meeting, and he let his ego kind of get away with that and made Seattle pay for that. But I do think that around the league, I think there's a consensus that everybody wants to go back to Seattle. Everybody enjoyed that city, and I know from the time that the Sonics were there in 2008, and now we're talking about 18 years later, the city has changed considerably. It's been built. Obviously, the Seahawks are a power, winning Super Bowls. You have a hockey team there. The arena's been rebuilt. The Storm are doing well. So there's all types of reasons to go back. And I think that the NBA definitely wants to go back. Now, the question is there enough talent to add, 2 more full teams when it seems like there is kind of tanking going on and some of these guys we've never heard of, they're hitting NBA floors? That's another question. But I do think the NBA is ready to return to Seattle. I think they understood that as much as Oklahoma City is a great market, and obviously, unfortunately for Seattle folks, they won a championship and been successful, that it's time for the league to go back to Seattle.
Gary, excuse me if I'm bouncing around. It's rare that we get to talk some basketball on this show, man. I'm loving it. So just a general question for you about just the game itself. Obviously, the Celtics pride themselves on the shooting the three ball, right? They're going to shoot that thing like no other team has done it before. It's a style we're seeing in the NBA now. And then I look at OKC and how they play basketball and how they're looking to draw these fouls and being dramatic with their flops and whatnot. Still, I think the best team in basketball. How have you seen the game change? Obviously, you've been covering basketball for a long time. And do you like where it's going?
Yeah, Michael, I think the game is starting to go away from the high-level, high-volume three-pointers. And I think the Celtics are learning the hard way that unless you have really elite shooters going three-pointer bust, sometimes you're going to go bust. And I think that's what's happened to them in the last couple of years. And I think that fans are getting tired. I know a lot of folks have had problems with last night's game between the Thunder and the Lakers, with the officiating, the flopping, the foul baiting. And I think that the league is going to have to do something about that. The league is now addressing tanking because that was a big issue. Some of the games in the last couple of weeks of the regular season were almost unwatchable because you literally had no idea some of the guys on the floor. Even if you follow college basketball or a big basketball fan, you had never heard of some of the guys that were putting on NBA uniforms just to fill rosters. I think the next agenda after tanking is to do something about flopping. And a few years ago, they instituted flopping rules, and there were supposed to be fines, and that really subsided. So I think now the fans are talking on social media and on TV and that type of thing, to saying that, listen, like the game is becoming unwatchable. There's too many fouls called. The officiating has slipped. And so I think the direction of the game is kind of in limbo because I think some of these great teams are taking fewer three-pointers and they're getting more free throws, but they're also foul baiting more. So if you look at a SGA or a Jalen Brunson or some of these guys that are just masters at drawing fouls, and while it's, nifty to see that in the sense of having enough savvy to understand the contact and study that, it's also boring to watch when, SGA is taking 18 free throws a game. So I think the NBA is going to have to assess the quality of the game this summer and start making some changes.
You mentioned Seahawks fans, that Seattle fans probably didn't love seeing OKC win a championship. You're right. We didn't like seeing it. I'm wondering if we're going to see it again this year too, because Bump's right. They're just dominant. Who's got the best chance of standing in their way, though?
Yeah, I would think if they meet in the conference finals, San Antonio Spurs. San Antonio had their number in the regular season, but again, that's the regular season. And I think the best team in the East right now is the New York Knicks. We'll see how they manage with prosperity up 2-0 against Philadelphia. But those are the two teams I see, but I see Oklahoma City winning series against both teams. I think the Thunder have been built to win championships. They've built their roster. They've made great decisions with personnel, with draft. They scored, it was like a Herschel Walker thing, and I know maybe Michael might know it was the Herschel Walker trade when they got Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, which that trade basically resurrected and won 3 Super Bowls for the Cowboys way back in the day, where this SGA trade can win multiple championships for the Thunder, and they still have draft picks they have not used from that trade from 2019. So it's kind of crazy. So a well-managed team, a quality team, a young team. So I think the Thunder, unfortunately for Seattle folks, is favored to do it again.
Last one I got for you. I'm very patriotic when it comes to sports. And the best player in the game right now, you can look at the Joker, you can look at SGA, you look at Wemby, and it seems like just the world has caught up and maybe passed the U.S. when it comes to basketball. What is it about our development that we're lacking? Is it just the AAU circuit that's killing the game? What do you see from the youth side?
Yeah, I do think the AAU thing is kind of killing it. I think that a lot of teams, a lot of those guys just look at NBA players and they develop skills that are nice but don't get you long-term success. They don't learn how to rebound, screen, the fundamentals. They learn how to shoot threes. A few years ago, I went to watch an AAU game with a bunch of maybe 10-year-olds, and literally they're playing 5 out, which that means is all 5 guys are running three-point line, and they're literally taking threes. Like, no one's posting up, no one's scoring in the paint. So the fundamentals have slipped. If you look at, SGA, right, or you look at Jokic and how fundamentally sound he is, obviously he's not Jokic is not a physical freak, but he does everything right. He rebounds well. He shoots the three. He shoots on the inside. He passes well, like all the things that you want out of a basketball player. And then obviously Wembanyama is a guy who's just been dropped out from another planet that's going to come once in a generation. But they train their players better in France. They play against older players. So by the time these guys are 18 and 19, they've played against grown men. So they're used to the physicality. So I think that we have to reassess how we train the American players, although obviously the most of the talent is still in America. It's still a lot of great players from the United States, but the world is catching up.
Good stuff with Boston Globe's Gary Washburn. Gary, thanks so much for your time.
Thanks, Gary.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Quickly, before we get to 4 Down territory, what would your answer be to your last question for Gary? It's a good one.
Thank you, Gary. I love talking basketball. We don't get a chance to talk it often on the show.
I know you were excited.
Yeah. I'm like, man, we could do another segment with Gary. I got so many questions.
You could do a segment on that final question.
Yeah, I think that's where I would lean towards because, I have nephews who are in the AAU circuit, and I think their club does a good job. But it is the fundamentals. It's like when you get into the playoffs like this, when it gets tight, you're going to have to run a half-court offense. You're going to slow the game down, and you're going to have to find ways to get your guys open and to apply some pressure. And I think that's what, even though I hate the way OKC plays, like they force you to defend them in the paint. They're driving to the paint, and yes, they're flopping and doing all that stuff, which is garbage, but they're not just relying on the three. The Celtics got away with it for so long. For 2 to 3 years, man, they were jacking up so many threes, and it's so streaky. It's such a low percentage shot that once you go cold, you go extremely cold. So yeah, I think the European player or the player that's international, they just have so many things in their bag. So you combine that with, all right, the game now is, or for a few teams, a lot of teams are just jacking up threes. It's like that's not reliable. What's reliable is triple threat, pivoting, getting down, screens, all that stuff that Gary was talking about. So it's a combination of that. The European player or the international player is taking advantage of the way some of our teams play by just being fundamentally sound. Get into the rack. That's the name of the game. Get to the rack, get free throws, and you'll have a chance there. So it's frustrating because we had a Canadian, Eastern European.
They're taking it from us.
They're taking the game from us, man. Let's get back to 96 Olympics.
All right, well, now I have 4 football questions for you. Let's get to 4 Down territory.
This is 4 Down territory, going inside the game with former Seahawks and Coug wide receiver Michael Bumpus.
First down, Bump. Who's a player you think can be decent at quarterback if developed correctly?
Cada Klubnik. Going into the season, he was a Heisman favorite because of the season he had in 2024. 36 touchdowns, only 6 interceptions, and he can throw the football. He's over there with the Jets. We'll see what happens with the Jets, how they develop their guys. But this is a fun part of what I do is I get to look for these sleepers, right? We know the first rounders and names that were popping, but guys like this who flew under the radar. I had a bad season with Clemson in 2025. I think Clemson has learned a lesson. They got to hit that portal harder, and Dabo just adapt to the game. He doesn't want to do it, but he has to adapt. But look out for that guy, man. He's a good ball player. We'll see if he develops.
Second down. A prediction here. Who's going to be the NFL's Offensive Rookie of the Year?
Mr. Tyson over there out of ASU. Big ups to Paul Moyer, and he is with Kellen Moore and the New Orleans Saints. You got Achane and Kamara in the backfield over there as well. You still got Olave at the receiver spot over there, I believe. I think in that offense, he's going to flourish, man, because I think that he's a savvy receiver, good route runner, super bouncy. You just toss the ball up to him and let him go to work, and it should be fun, man. So I think the young man, Jordan Tyson, 6'2", 200 pounds out of Arizona State, is going to be a staple next year in that offense.
Third down. Oh, gosh. Actually, can I pause? Because last time we did 4 downs, I asked you whether your choice would be Lemon for the Rams. Matt, I'll get to the question in 1 second, so we just keep the bed for the – sorry. I didn't ask you about Tate, though, and I wanted to the first time. Were you What you were on live draft coverage with Brock and the guys. Were you surprised when he went at 4?
Kind of, because I felt that Tyson was the better receiver in this draft. But drafting any top prospect, special receiver out of Ohio State is not a bad idea. Okay. They are the wideout factory over there. He's a smooth receiver. Goes and gets the football. I was surprised, but I understood. I'm like, I could. Out of those two, I don't think you can miss.
Okay, well, that's not your real third down question. It's this. Who's quietly gotten better in the NFC?
So I flipped this question from the first time around because I made an error. And then I went back and I looked at this team. Minnesota on paper, okay? Minnesota on paper.
Don't do it.
Got some weapons over there. It's all about Kyler Murray, man. We've seen him have those performances sometimes where you're like, man, if he can just lock it in, if he can lock it in and play like this, he could be a problem. But we've seen it, and I vouch for these guys because I'm one of these dudes. The short quarterback has not had super success in this league. You do have Drew Brees and also Russell Wilson as well. Drew Brees has had a crazy offense, and Russell Wilson was supported by the Legion of Boom. If Kyler Murray can tap in, I'm trying to find a game where he just went nuts. If he can tap in to a 300-yard performance every now and then with a couple touchdowns and running the football, they got enough weapons over there. The problem is that that division's crazy. Is
a Kyler Murray that's totally tapped in 100% effort all the time, which we haven't seen, still way more limited, though, than other guys because of his size?
Facts are facts, man.
Yeah.
You got to look over 6'5" offensive linemen.
And you know I love my petites, my short kings. Always support them. We'll see what happens. Yep. 4th down. Who do you think could be a surprise when he eventually gets his turn?
Your boy. He's going to support your team. Carson Beck over there with the Arizona Cardinals. I just say I'm going to watch him just because he's played in so many dang games, like 55 to 56 games. I mean, he's got experience. He's seen it at the SEC level, playing with Georgia and then with Miami he's been to 3 national championship games. I mean, this dude knows some football. So we'll see what happens over there with him. Just someone to look at. I think if he sits like Klubnik, you got a chance. So we'll see.
Get your questions in for What I Need to Know. Any question that's top of mind by the end of the show, sports, non-sports, doesn't matter. Text it now, 866-979-3776. Coming up next, earlier in the show, Bump and I played some sound from a CBS Sports panel that was picking their winner for the NFC West in 2026. They went with the Rams, and Danny Cannell said, look, like this is a Seahawks team that won the division basically by virtue of a fluky play. So we kind of moved past it. We talked about a lot of other stuff. And then Justin sent me something that brought me right back to this conversation. And I showed you, and we were both like, the audacity of Danny Cannell. That's next.
MLB Network insider John Morosi with Wyman and Bob.
Just head-scratching moments, just booting ball, just sloppy play.
Are the Mariners really as far down as they appear? Turns out they are. 28 out of 30 in terms of defensive wins above replacement. It's a concern. The numbers say it's a concern. Your eyes say it's a concern. And for a team that's built around pitching, defense, run prevention, you can't give extra out.
Subscribe to Seattle Sports on YouTube and watch the full interview.
I've been talking about my experience being on the Arc Sport, which is a fully electric wake boat, for about a month now. I had fun trying it out on the water. It's truly unlike any boat I've ever seen. But here's the thing. Instead of me answering questions about it, I think what I'm actually going to start doing is letting people know they can try it out for themselves. And it's super easy. You go to arcboats.com/demo. Again, arcboats.com/demo. Fill out the form and get out on the water. Again, I can talk about these features all day long. Heated seats, a retractable tower, touchscreen dash, low maintenance, but you really do have to see and experience it for yourself. And you can. Book a demo. It's easy and it's free. Even better, they'll pick you up on Lake Washington, Lake Union, or Lake Sammamish if you can't come to them in Kirkland. Go to arcboats.com/demo, fill out the form, and you'll be out on the water. Arc, you have to see it to believe it.
The Chase Ink Business Premier Card is made for people who make things happen, like me. I'm Sam, founder and CEO of Manifest, a product design company that makes everyday products designed smarter. I get 2.5% cash back on purchases of $5,000 or more, plus unlimited 2% cash back on all other purchases, which helps us make more smart ideas into a brilliant reality.
The Ink Business Premier Card.
Chase for business. Make more of what's yours. Real business owner compensated for their participation. Cards issued by JPMorgan Chase Bank. NA member FDIC. Subject to credit approval. Terms apply.
Have a troublesome tree in need of removal? P&D Tree Service is up to the task. Local experts in tree removal for residential and commercial. If it's 1 tree or 15 trees, close quarters or land clearing, call P&D Tree. They'll get the job done safely and quickly, turning multi-day jobs into a few hours, saving you time and money. They'll clear trees away from homes to help you save on home insurance. They specialize in large tree removal. Ever see a tree removed by crane? PNDTreeservice.com.
Hi, Chef John Howie here. For 24 years, my team and I at Sea Star Restaurant and Raw Bar have called Bellevue home. We serve fresh, locally sourced seafood, farm fresh produce and poultry, and great steaks. At Sea Star, we like to say there's something for everyone, from the carnivore to the pescatarian to the vegetarian. Come see for yourself at Sea Star Restaurant and Raw Bar in Bellevue. SeaStarRestaurant.com, SeaStarRestaurant.com.
Pump up the volume.
Business moves fast. Orders roll in, deadlines close in. When you ship with USPS Ground Advantage, you can keep up with confidence. Every package stays in our secure network from dock to door. And with nationwide reach, dependable tracking, and upfront affordable pricing, you get built-in peace of mind. You run the business. We run the routes. Visit USPS.com/Ground Advantage to learn more.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance tech at a university, he knows ordering from multiple suppliers takes time away from keeping their arena up and running. That's why he counts on Grainger to get everything he needs, from lighting and HVAC parts to plumbing supplies, all in one place. And with fast, dependable delivery, he's stocked and ready for the next tip-off. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Mariners and White Sox this afternoon in Chicago. First pitch at 4:40, pregame at 3:30. Listen live for free on the Seattle Sports app.
Shopping for a new Mazda? Shop the West Coast's largest Mazda dealer, Mazda of Everett. With more new Mazdas in stock than any dealer in the region. Shop over 780 new Mazdas. Click on the Mazda of Everett price. At Mazda of Everett, exceptional customer satisfaction is the standard. Plus, at Mazda of Everett, you negotiate directly with the owner. Locally owned, trusted by thousands. Shop MazdaofEverett.com and see why we're #1.
Hello, my friends. It's the Graz here, encouraging you to golf local. Our region is blessed with a ton of golf that isn't very expensive and can accommodate all types of skill levels. Check out the premier courses at Bellevue, Bill Wright, Cedar Crest, Interbay, Jackson Park, Lake Padden, Legion Memorial, Linwood, or Walter Hall. You know, wherever you are in Western Washington, you're not far from a premier course. Why not book a tee time online or play Top Tracer at the range at Interbay, Bill Wright, and Jackson Park? So what are you waiting for? Play the courses. Play Premier.
Workdays can be unpredictable, but your workwear shouldn't be. With the Cintas Apparel Plus program, you'll have freshly laundered garments for everyone on your team delivered every week. Cintas has workwear for just about any job imaginable, with high-performance fabrics and an uncompromising fit that stretches and moves with you. Don't leave looking and feeling good to chance. Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
Progressive knows it ain't easy navigating the open plains of home insurance, but there is one man who can help tame that wild herd of options. The Home Quote Explorer.
Note, Progressive's Home Quote Explorer is not a real person, but an online tool that lets you compare home insurance.
He's the type of fella who helps you decide on the right insurance, even if it ain't with him.
Again, not a person, just an online tool that helps you find great home coverage.
A real pioneer.
Okay, fine. Just do the thing. Yeah! Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and third-party insurers. Comparison rates not available in all states or situations.
This hour is brought to you by Mazda of Everett.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Bump Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
I'm going to sound like we're making it personal with Danny Cannell, and we're not.
Nah, let's do it. Let's make it personal.
No, Bump. No.
I'm with it.
You actually said, look, if someone is picking the Rams over the Seahawks to win the division, you have no problem with them whatsoever. Like, there's a lot of fair arguments to make.
Mm-hmm.
We listened to this one earlier from Danny Cannell.
So I hate this because we agree.
I think one of the hardest things to do is repeat as the Super Bowl champion, right? I think it's hard to just repeat and replicate some of the success you had. You lose key pieces. Guys are looking to get paid. They've lost several key pieces. You're complacent when you go out there every time. And then on the flip side, what I love is the Rams' sense of urgency. And you mentioned Matthew Stafford, the window closing. I mean, even though he had this incredible MVP season last year, I still think the team, they want to send him off with the ultimate, which is a Vince Lombardi trophy.
Okay, fair argument. No problem with that whatsoever.
Mm-hmm.
Then the panel got into some of the differences.
Are either one of you guys going to take the reigning Super Bowl champions to win their own division next year?
I feel like you know the answer. That's a definite no. I mean, look, the Seahawks win the division. I get that. But they won it kind of on a technicality.
Was that Danny or was that the other guy?
That was the other guy.
That was the other guy.
Yeah.
Okay, so not Danny Cannell. However, I saw this tweet. Justin sent it to me from Danny Cannell. And I'm like, this is kind of the feeling that I have for this entire panel when they're talking about the 2-point conversion, which is Danny Cannell tweeting, "Hey, New Orleans," obviously during the Rams-Saints NFC Championship game. "Hey, New Orleans, we get it. There was a blown call. Get over it." Why are we doing that when the Rams get, by the way, by the letter of the law, it was a 2-point conversion. I didn't think it was when it happened. I don't think we're ever going to see something like that again. I also, Bump, you made a great point earlier about how weird it is to kind of have like New York call in and be like, wait, hang on just a minute.
Yeah.
Like all of it's weird. I totally get it. We have seen other things go one team's way that have swayed a game. And I don't know why we're all harping on this 2-point conversion and how that somehow ripped the Rams off of what would certainly have been a Super Bowl win. I just don't buy that take.
Nah, there are roughly about 60 plays of offense, 60 plays of defense during the football game. So just broadly speaking, your team has about 100-plus opportunities to affect that game, right? Positively or negatively. And there are going to be some plays that stand out. But it's the combination of all these plays that lead to something. And then even if something drastic like that happens, a lot of the times there are more opportunities, which you've illustrated earlier today, for teams to erase that play or allow the other team to take advantage of that play. And the Rams had opportunities to do that. There are bad calls in every single game.
Every game.
And I think that because we've never seen something like this before,
yep,
that's where the Rams people are losing their you-know-whats. And it's, you know what? It is what it is. The referees, man, they're right even when they're wrong, okay? So it's just something that we learn to deal with as athletes. You're going to get calls against you that you might feel are unfair. It's going to happen. It's about how you respond after that. They did not respond well enough to win that ball game.
Exactly. And you made this point when we were talking about earlier this week. We heard a great cut from Kay Adams where she said, what do the Seahawks need? Like, what are they lacking that's making people overlook it? And you said, people look at quarterbacks, they look at offense. And the Rams, to a lot of people, have an advantage there, and you can totally nod and agree and get it. The Seahawks had an advantage all season long defensively and with special teams.
Yep.
And that cost the Rams in those 2 games.
Mm-hmm.
But to your point, people just simply pay less attention to it and give it, like, every single NFL analyst will tell you they love watching defense. They love watching good defense. They know that the Seahawks defense led them to a Super Bowl. It's not, like, lost on people. But I do think it's kind of overlooked, right? Like, the Rams adding Trent McDuffie. Oh, my God, they got better than the Seahawks. Well, they were already worse defensively.
Mm-hmm.
No, they made themselves more competitive with the Seahawks defense. I don't know.
Everyone's chasing the Hawks right now. Everyone in this league is chasing the Hawks, and everyone in this division is going to have to chase them a couple more times because obviously you play home and away with these guys. So when you are the ones being chased, you don't have to make sometimes you don't have to make the drastic moves anymore. You know, you lose K9, Boye, Kobe, Reek. Boom, I get it. I understand that. But I think that this system over here, at least defensively, we still got to see what this offense looks like, right? But this system over here defensively allows Mike McDonald to manipulate. And because he's a master of his own system, He doesn't have to go out and get a big name or big splash. I think Fowler is probably the biggest move this offseason. And to me, he's not even going to – I don't think he'll contribute as much as Bud is going to contribute, you know? So, yeah, it's a different position to be in. You are the ones being chased. And I think that they're so confident in what they're doing here and their system and their philosophy that they can go out and get a name that you might not be familiar with and have success.
And there is a real risk of being caught from behind there, right? You have the target on your back, but there's a very, very, very good team and a couple of good teams in the NFC West, best division of football that you got to look over your shoulder at. The 49ers, you talked about really liking what they did in their offseason despite controversial picks in the draft. You really liked what they did. We talked about, obviously, the Rams being neck and neck with the Seahawks for the best team in football. Prior to Thursday night, I was saying the Rams were better. The Rams have the edge, and the Seahawks have to prove it. Like, I spent a good chunk of the season thinking that the Seahawks had to catch up to the Rams. And they ultimately did, and they passed them, and they won a Super Bowl. Great. I just think that saying, well, the Seahawks won on a technicality, and that's what separated these two teams, and what's going to keep Seattle from it is like an objectively bad football take. No disrespect. A better, in my opinion, and more fair football take would be the Seahawks have a brand new offensive coordinator who has not been an offensive coordinator before, and that's a pretty big deal. Like, when people start talking about that, when you and Brock start talking about that, that's when I actually go, ooh, yeah, that's an obstacle. Well, I want to learn more about that. I want to know what they need to do there. I want to know, what it means for this offense and Sam Darnold and communication and flow with everything. Like, that carries way more weight than, well, they went on a technicality. That wasn't the difference.
No, it wasn't the difference, man. It's a chess game, a game of chess. And players have to execute. And there are going to be mistakes. Coach is going to make bad calls. And you know what? That moment, that two-point conversion lets you know how well Seattle's coach or was coached that year, right? Zach Charbonnet, it looked like to me it was nonchalant and he didn't understand what he was doing. Then he goes back to the media and says, no, that's what we're coached to do. We're coached to pick up every dead ball, right? The ball's on the ground. We pick it up because you never know what's going to happen. And I think we're going to start seeing more of that. That might be a moment in NFL history, right? Because now everyone's going to be coached. Look, pick up the dang ball whenever it's on the ground. Run it back. We already see guys running it back regardless. So it was, hey, our guys are just coached up. That's all that was.
Yeah. It's just also like, look, we ranted about it earlier in the show, but once again, you had a 16-point lead. If I may, this was not a 30-28 game that was neck and neck the whole time, and then Seattle ties it up with this. This wasn't a play that happened in the final minute of regulation.
Yeah,
this happened with 6.
Be resilient,
right?
Overcome.
I fear, Rams. I fear that you did have 6 minutes left to pull ahead, and you did not.
Definitely did.
I digress. So
she digresses.
Look, I digress. Okay. Get your questions in for what I need to know. Wrapping up the show on a Friday. 866-979-3776. Sports, non-sports, doesn't matter. Text it now.
After the biggest series win so far this season.
You just beat the Braves, who had been the best team in baseball, and beat them 2 out of 3.
That shows a little resilience.
How about that, folks? The Mariners hit the road, looking to build momentum.
This is an opportunity road trip for the Mariners.
And create some distance atop the AL West.
You're not far from sitting in first place, because the rest of the teams, nobody's running away with it.
Mariners, White Sox, tonight. First pitch at 4:40. Pre-game at 3:30. Every pitch, every game, one app for free. The Seattle Sports app.
Guys, did you know your testosterone affects everything in your system, including how you feel and perform every day? Right now, Revive Men's Health Seattle will check your testosterone for free. Knowing your T levels is the first step in understanding if you have low T. Your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Maintaining an appropriate T level can change your whole life. Most men start to see changes in their hormone levels in their 30s. Experience and results matter. So what are you waiting for? Get your T levels checked today by local, experienced, and trusted men's health experts. They've helped thousands of men since 2011. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Call Revive today and schedule your free testosterone test, free exam, and free consultation. Call Revive Men's Health at 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit revivemenshealth.com.
We meet by accident, fixing every last bit, Accurate Auto Body.
If you've been in an auto accident, you have the right to take your vehicle to any repair facility. Accurate Auto Body has been family owned and operated since 1994, and they work for you, not your insurance company. Your insurance company may not love them, but you will, because
We meet by accident, fixing every last bit, Accurate Auto Body.
Your old furnace ain't nice, and your toes are like ice.
DayandNight.net.
This month, Day and Night gives you a free furnace with the installation of an AC or heat pump.
If you're not sure your furnace will make it through another winter, call us to install a proper, long-lasting, efficient heating system backed by our lifetime workmanship guarantee, so you won't be left out in the cold.
Install an AC or heat pump and get a free furnace from Day and Night Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electric.
DayandNight.net.
If you have unfiled taxes or are in debt to the IRS, this is important news. Did you know the IRS has programs specifically designed to help people struggling with tax debt? Powerful tax assistance programs that can save you thousands if you qualify. No one knows these programs better than the experts at Optima Tax Relief, America's most trusted tax resolution firm, A-rated by the Better Business Bureau. Their award-winning tax attorneys and licensed professionals have resolved over $3 billion of tax debt for their clients. One call to Optima can start the process, helping to put an end to your worries about wage garnishment, asset seizure, and other aggressive IRS actions. Find the best options to solve your tax problems. Call the experts at Optima Tax Relief today for a free consultation.
Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Kinematics Marine Equipment reminds listeners many boaters take to the water this time of year, and one of the biggest safety barriers is alcohol. The problem is alcohol sends clear-headed thinking overboard. Remember, boating is only pleasurable if you play it safe. Please, on the waterways as on the roadways, don't drink and drive. A message from the entire team at Kinematics Marine Equipment, your nationwide source for marine deck gear in their new location next to the Arlington Airport, or find them online at kinematicsmarine.com.
Mariners and White Sox this afternoon in Chicago. First pitch at 4:40, pregame at 3:30. Listen live for free on the Seattle Sports app.
Yay to Bruce, the streaming king.
With quantum fiber internet, he's gonna binge.
He wants more, he's got to have more.
More bedtime true crime.
More podcasts in the shower.
Quantum fiber Wi-Fi has the power. More. Fast internet speed.
He's got the gigs to go big, bring him the game.
Right now.
And his royal we.
More sports non-stop. His quantum fiber's on top. Ready to go.
Switch today at quantumfiber.com. Limited availability, service, and speed in select locations only.
Spring is a season homeowners start improving their homes. Hi, Justin Shirley, CEO of State Roofing and Exteriors. If your home needs roofing, siding, new windows, gutters, or decking, our team can take care of it all. For a limited time, save up to $3,000 on a new roof, siding, deck, or windows project. Planning multiple upgrades? Combine your projects and save even more. Or with 0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest up to 24 months. You can start your project now and pay later. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com.
Shopping for a new Mazda? Shop the West Coast's largest Mazda dealer, Mazda of Everett. With more new Mazdas in stock than any dealer in the region. Shop over 780 new Mazdas. Click on the Mazda of Everett price. At Mazda of Everett, exceptional customer satisfaction is the standard. Plus, at Mazda of Everett, you negotiate directly with the owner. Locally owned, trusted by thousands. Shop MazdaofEverett.com and see why we're #1.
Hey, it's Mike Salk here for my friends at Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel. Celebrate Mom with Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel's Mother's Day weekend giveaway. You could win one of 100 designer handbags filled with prizes on Saturday, May 9th and Sunday, May 10th. Don't forget to book a stay at the new hotel. It's awesome. Elevate your next getaway by combining effortless style with the utmost in relaxation. Head to snocasino.com for details. It is Seattle's closest Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel. Please game responsibly.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio,
This
is Bumpin' Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Get your questions in for What I Need to Know, 866-979-3776. Sports, non-sports. I'm starting with the sports one. What I need to know, says one listener, is Cole Young's play getting national recognition, or is a Northwest bias, I'll say East Coast bias again, for excellent gameplay?
Is he getting recognition? I don't think he's getting national recognition.
No. But, I mean, it's new. I think sometimes, I think of national stuff as being like a season behind sometimes with things.
Yeah. No, he's got to be balling well into the summer before I think people really start paying attention.
Yeah, I'm going to rule it fair right now. Say no and then rule it fair, but good for him for making the case. 866-979-3776. If you're sitting next to a stranger at the movie theater, who gets the armrest between you?
Every time I go to the movies, I go to one of those with the lazy boys.
Yeah.
So I don't have that issue.
Yeah, I feel like we're in 2026. We need to move beyond that issue.
Yeah.
Bigger seats in theaters. Let's see. I had one here. What I need to know, let's say you have a fun mom with a great sense of humor. She's silly. What gag gift would you get her for Mother's Day? George Foreman Grill.
Yeah, I mean, that's a tough one.
That's, yeah.
The gag gift?
Mother's Day is not really a day for gag gifts.
I don't usually, yeah.
Nah, I do. If she was cool like that.
Yeah.
Something just sexist. You know,
Whoa.
Like, here's an apron.
Dang.
I mean, she got a sense of humor.
I know, it's the way you said it. Nice. Something just sexist.
Oh, she's got a sense of humor. Let's go ahead and do that.
I think I have gotten my mom an apron for Mother's Day.
Really?
Am I sexist?
No, well, maybe she likes to cook, though. Does she like to cook?
She cooks.
It's handmade.
Yeah.
That'd be
yeah.
a thoughtful gift.
Handmade. Yeah, make her, you know what? This is actually cute. Make her the gifts that you were giving her in elementary school. So a macaroni.
Glue macaroni on a plate?
Make a macaroni noodle necklace and the ceramic hands, but your adult hands. Make that for her. And then demand that she display it in the living room. That's a good one. What I need to know.
Oh, I know a good one for that.
Yeah.
It is kind of sentimental, but if you have siblings, recreate pictures of yourselves in the same poses that you had when you were younger. Bump, you can't do that.
Yeah, sorry.
Sorry.
No offense.
That's messed up, man. That hurts.
What I need to know. What's more obnoxious? Giving yourself your own nickname or subtly prompting people that it's your birthday? I don't think the second one's obnoxious at all.
I know you don't.
I know you don't think that.
Your own nickname.
Your own nickname.
You don't give yourself a nickname.
No, that you can't. You can't do it.
No.
I think you have to protest it when people try to do that. You ever see, on Pro Football Reference, how it'll be a guy's nickname, and you'll be like, who's ever called him that?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, Tom Brady. Yeah. I think the Pharaoh is one on Tom Brady. I've never heard anybody call him
Was
that.
it CJ Prosize who had Freaky? Who had Freaky on his? And I'm like, I've never heard that before. Where did this come from?
One of Tom Brady's Pro Football Reference nicknames is Sir. What?
No one calls him that. Who said that? No one said
Touchdown Tom.
What I need to know. Stacey, I promise this isn't a golf question. This is from yesterday. I've been struggling on the course and decided new golf shoes would fix my problem. I'm always wanting to support good small companies, so I found these shoes, but I discovered that A-Rod, someone high on my sports hate list, is a major investor in the company. I decided to purchase the shoes, but am I a hypocrite that I will violate my ethics anytime it becomes inconvenient? Or am I an amazing human that's being good-hearted and has an immense sense of forgiveness?
I think your heart was in the right place, and forgive A-Rod, man. I know a lot of you won't, but you say no to $250 million.
Frankly, I think you're being the bigger person.
Yeah.
That's what I would tell myself if I was like, I really want these shoes. I'm being the bigger person. Yeah. What I need to know. You're staring at a box of chocolates. There's no guide available. What's the strategy? They said for not getting stuck with a nougat-filled abomination.
What's the strategy? Usually the ones with a little bit of frosting on the top, the little...
Mm-hmm. The drizzle?
Yeah, those ones you pack and heat.
I can tell you right now,
Look for the milk chocolate.
A square milk chocolate, 9 times out of 10 is a caramel.
Mm-hmm.
Look, I know a box of chocolates. Okay. I eat a lot.
No, you don't.
You don't.
No, my favorite thing, though, are sweets. When I want to eat, it's never ending.
So you're just going to See's Candy or Russell Stover's and give me one of those variety packs.
I can tell you with 90% accuracy, if you showed me just a box of chocolates with no guide, I could, I think with 90% accuracy, guess what's in each of them.
Let's do it.
Great. I look forward to
Bring
it.
a box of chocolates next week.
Nougat is not going to be in an oblong or square chocolate. It's going to be in a dome chocolate. Yeah, circular one. Yeah. That's also going to have like your strawberry, your orange, your flavored creams. I have a refined palate. 866-979-3776. My work has an HR policy that you can't give someone a nickname, so they have to give it to themselves.
You can't give someone a nickname? Probably like there's Brian the No Fun Haver over there.
What would our nickname for Matt be? Oh, Matt Board Hands.
Wow. Got him.
Something to do with sarcasm.
Let's go back to the drawing board on that one, Stace.
Matt. There goes Nelly Nell Dog.
Nelly Nell Dog.
Nelson.
Nelly Nell Dog. That's it. That's the one.
I want to know what happened at this person's workplace to where they don't, to where they have a no nickname.
Much better follow-up. Texter, if you know the lore of why HR said you can't give people nicknames anymore, can you please tell us? Thank you so much. 866-979-3776. Could we see Wu, Kirby, and Hancock all overtake Gilbert this year?
Yeah, Hancock's on his way. That's for sure.
What's our expectation for Hancock today?
No hitter.
Perfect game.
There's like 3 ways to improve from last time, and it's going to be
20 strikeouts.
Difficult.
Yeah.
Perfect game.
It must be a perfect game or a no-hitter.
He's going to be carried off the field by the White Sox, too.
This is so cool.
Amazing game ever pitched against us.
This is the coolest thing we've ever seen in a minute. Carried off by the White Sox. To the actual question, possibly. Are you guys expecting more from Gilbert? Bump, I know in his last outing you said, yeah, it could have been better, but I wasn't disappointed by any means.
Yeah, I mean, he did give up some bombs, but single shots. That's going to happen. Yeah, I think he'll be more better next time we see him.
Yeah. You can call Matt Door because you all walk all over him.
Dang.
Y'all don't know this guy.
You walk all over the floor.
You walk all over a door? What kind of door are you using?
Exactly.
You can walk
like a
on
trap door?
Yeah.
Like a cellar door?
You know what? This texter in the 843 needs to get back to the drawing board. If I have to get back to the drawing board, if Matt Board Hands wasn't good enough, then Door isn't either. Okay, what I need to know, have any of you ever hit a hole-in-one? Did you just text in under the table?
As a matter of fact.
Is that you?
I have. It's the greatest feeling in the world.
Oh, my God.
I see what they did.
What?
Doormat. That's his name.
Oh. Doormat. Matt, do you have the new closeout?
Thinking man's joke.
Maybe.
Oh, interesting. Very interesting. That will do it for us. Wyman and Bob coming up next. And I texted my mom and I said, hey, at what age was I like totally potty trained? And she said, and I quote, I didn't really believe in that stuff.
When your growing's right, you got lots of might.
And that ball will take flight.
That's right.
Yesternights.
Size does not matter.
I am potty trained.
After the biggest series win so far this season.
You just beat the Braves, who had been the best team in baseball, and beat them 2 out of 3.
That shows a little resilience.
How about that, folks? The Mariners hit the road, looking to build momentum.
This is an opportunity road trip for the Mariners.
And create some distance atop the AL West.
You're not far from sitting in first place, because the rest of the teams, nobody's running away with it.
Mariners, White Sox, tonight. First pitch at 4:40. Pre-game at 3:30. Every pitch, every game, one app for free. The Seattle Sports app.
Hey, Brock Hewitt here with my buddy Shannon O'Kelly from IRG Physical and Hand Therapy. We know this, Shannon. When the weather warms, our baseball team's bats usually get a little hotter. We also know that maybe we've been sitting around and we try to crank things to 100 and our bodies don't quite react. As the weather gets warmer, do you see more folks at IRG?
Absolutely, Brock. You know, you just mentioned it. As the weather warms up, people think they need to get outside, which is great. But sometimes they get outside, they start too fast, too quick, and they don't warm up. They don't stretch. They don't do preparation. If you find yourself in that situation where maybe you overdid it, you're hurt, you got a bruise, a bump, an ache, get a hold of us at IRG PT. We'll do a free injury screening, and we'll give you some guidance, some recommendations to keep you on your path of healthy function, pain-free activity.
How cool is that? A free screening for you and no referral needed. Just personalized care when and where you need it. Visit IRGPT.com and schedule your appointment today. Over 40 convenient locations. IRG's in your neighborhood. IRGPT.com.
At Valvoline Instant Oil Change, we perform an 18-point maintenance check with every oil change to help make sure you're good to go.
And?
Yeah, you're good to go.
Huh. Wonder why the dealership isn't that easy.
Well, we'd let you know if we found something in our check.
Oh, great. That was easy.
Valvoline Instant Oil Change. Quick, thorough, and honest. Come with no charge.
Dave Wyman here with an interesting story. A woman was about to donate a box of jewelry, but her friend told her, take it to Bellevue Rare Coins first. She walked out with a check that far exceeded her expectations. Old jewelry, coin collections, gold watches, necklaces, and pendants. It's worth finding out what those items are worth during such a strong market. Before you give anything away, get it checked out at Bellevue Rare Coins in Bellevue, Linwood, Issaquah, and Tacoma. Go to BellevueRareCoins.com.
Hello, my friends. It's the Graz here, encouraging you to golf local. Our region is blessed with a ton of golf that isn't very expensive and can accommodate all types of skill levels. Check out the premier courses at Bellevue, Bill Wright, Cedar Crest, Inter Bay, Jackson Park, Lake Padden, Legion Memorial, Linwood, or Walter Hall. You know, wherever you are in Western Washington, you're not far from a premier course. Why not book a tee time online or play Top Tracer at the range at Inter Bay, Bill Wright, and Jackson Park? So what are you waiting for? Play the courses. Play Premier.
Windows are our home's top target for break-ins. At Lake Washington Windows and Doors, we offer added security with our exclusive 3-layer security glass protection. Combined with our lifetime warranty, you'll have lifetime peace of mind. Choose Lake Washington Windows and Doors, a name you can trust.
Lee Johnson Auto Family, the LJ way.
When you buy a new vehicle from Lee Johnson, you'll get a lifetime powertrain warranty included.
Still planning your summer vacation? Tired of airports and long drives? Anacortes Yacht Charters has a better option. Cruise the San Juan Islands aboard a fully equipped yacht. Take the helm of a bareboat charter or hire a skipper to explore on your terms. Quiet coves, lively harbors, no schedules. Just a tide guide and a sense of adventure. With a fleet of 50 powerboats and sailboats, AYC has options for groups large and small, from beginner to old salt. Start your San Juan adventure at ayc.com/KIRO. For over 113 years, Pacific Lamp and Supply Company has been your #1 lighting specialist in Washington, from the Space Needle in Seattle all the way to the Riverwalk in Spokane. With the largest lighting inventory in Washington, Pacific Lamp's knowledgeable and experienced staff can assist with any lighting issue, including intricate lighting and control designs. Plus, they work with all utilities in Washington to get you the best available lighting rebates. Pacific Lamp and Supply Company, Washington's lighting experts since 1912. Visit pacificlamp.com.
How was your break?
It was great until I stopped for gas. Prices have gone up almost $1 with no end in sight. I might have to start watching how much I drive.
That's exactly why I use Upside. I never pay full price for gas with the free Upside app.
Upside?
Yes, Upside. It's the free app that gives you cash back just for buying the gas you're already buying. So even with the rising gas prices, I'll never have to limit how much I drive.
Does that actually add up to anything?
Just last year, I made over $200 with the Upside app.
Wow, that's serious extra cash. I'm downloading the free Upside app right now.
Download the free Upside app to earn cash back on the gas you're already buying. Use promo code THRIVE25 for an extra 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. You can cash out anytime, right to your bank account, or an e-gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code THRIVE25 for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on